Hello everyone, in this video, we will be seeing movie 6 of What If Naruto Had Ultra Instinct, so be sure to stick around until the end. Let's get started. It's been 3 weeks since the Gaara rescue mission, and Naruto has only gone on 5 degrees Celsius rank missions to stay active. Tsunade didn't want him to take anything too stressful since he had this S rank mission to do now. He made his way over to Tsunade's office to meet his team. He entered through the window much to Tsunade's annoyance. "I'm here, Granny, who's on my team?" he asked. "It's a former Ambu agent named Yamato, but his actual name is Tenzo. He was only assigned because the council thought you might lose control of the Kyuubi chakra and kill your teammates, and he was experimented on by Orochimaru. He possesses the wood style. They think he can suppress the Kyuubi chakra, but he can only do it up to 5 tails. However, they don't know you have complete control over it. As for the next member, I'm sorry, but it has to be Sakura. She is the only available medic right now since Tayuya is out on a delivery mission to Suna with Ino and Kiba," she said. "That's okay, I don't care," he said. Just then Danzo walked in without knocking. "Danzo, I do believe I told you to knock before entering. Get out and knock like I said," Tsunade said. However, Danzo ignored her and began speaking. "Tsunade, I've heard about this mission to catch a spy and—" He was cut off by Naruto slamming him into the wall with his arm on his neck. "I believe the Hokage gave you an order. Refusing to follow that order is treason, and you can be sentenced to death, and calling her anything but her proper title unless given permission is against the law the second Hokage made. Now get out, knock and wait for her to answer," he said, and threw Danzo out of the office. Danzo, who was seething in anger, reluctantly knocked on the door. "Enter," Tsunade said with a smirk, and Danzo walked in. "Ah, Danzo, what a surprise. What can I do for you today?" she asked, pissing him off. He clenched his teeth before speaking. "Hokage-sama, I've heard about this mission to catch a spy and potentially face Orochimaru. I have a shinobi I wish to add on this mission," he said. Naruto knew he had an interest in this mission. "So Danzo, you want one of your rude shinobi to deliver a message?" Naruto asked with a smirk. "I have no idea what you're talking about. I simply wish to give extra help on a mission," Danzo said, lying to them. "Very well, let me see his file," Tsunade said, and Danzo banded it to her. It was a decent file, but he knew all the missions were cover-up stories. "All right, Danzo, he can join the mission." She gave Naruto a look. "Tell him to meet his team at the gates in 2 hours, she said. "Actually, he's already here outside of the office. I can bring him in now if you would like me to," Danzo said. "Bring him in." Danzo nodded and opened the door so his shinobi could enter. "Hokage-sama, this is Sai. He is yours to command," Danzo said. Tsunade and Naruto took a good look at Sai and knew he was a root member. Sai has short, straight black hair and dark eyes which contrast with his translucent-looking pale skin. He is usually seen carrying a small backpack with his brush, scrolls, and ninja ink in it. He wears a short black and gray jacket with red straps as customary of all root members, to most likely show his allegiance to the organization. He also carries a tipless tanto on his back. The rest of his outfit consisted of a high-collared midriff shirt, black pants, shinobi sandals, and gloves with his index and thumb fingers exposed, most likely to facilitate the use of his drawing-based techniques. "Welcome to the mission, Sai. Naruto, if Sai does anything suspicious on the mission that can harm Konoha in any reason, kill him," Tsunade said, and Naruto nodded. "Danzo, you can leave." Danzo left the office. Sai had his mission, so he wasn't worried. "Hokage-sama, nice to meet you. You as well, dickless," Sai said with a fake smile. Naruto also put on a fake smile. Next thing Sai knew, a kunai cut his cheek, making him stop smiling and look at the kunai that was less than an inch from his face. If you looked closely, Sai had a drip of sweat on his head. "Don't piss me off, Sai," was all Naruto said before a knock on the door interrupted them. "Come in," Tsunade said, and Sakura walked in along with a man that has short brown hair and black almond-shaped eyes. He wore the standard attire of a Konoha nin with a flak jacket. He wore a forehead protector like the one Tobirama Senju wore. "Sakura, Yamato, nice of you to join me. This is Sai," she said, motioning to Sai, who still had his usual fake smile on. "Hey handsome, after this mission, wanna hang out?" Sakura asked, pushing her breasts together. "Sorry, but I'm not interested, ugly," Sai said. Sakura was pissed off that she was rejected and called ugly. "Alright, that's enough, you know your mission. Head to the Tenchi Bridge disguised as Sasori and get whatever you can from him and capture him. Orochimaru may show up, but Naruto will fight him alone. Do not interfere," she said. They all nodded. "You leave in 1 hour. Yamato and Naruto stay back. Sai, Sakura head to the gates and wait for them." Sai and Sakura left. "Hokage-sama, why did you need us to stay behind?" Yamato asked. "You were mainly put on this mission to control the Kyuubi chakra. Your wood style will not be needed. He can already control all of the Kyuubi's chakra," All you need to do is act as Sasori and capture the spy. Also, Naruto has a separate mission. If Sai does anything that is considered a threat to Konoha, he is to kill him. Yamato nodded as he knew Sai was a root agent. Very well, Hokage-sama. Yamato said he left the office with Naruto. They arrived at the gate and saw Sakura still trying to get with Sai. Sakura, leave Sai alone, we have a mission to do, Yamato said. Good, now Yamato is the leader of this mission and I am second in charge. Do you both have everything you need? Naruto asked. They nodded. Alright, let's move out. We have a 2-week travel period to make it to the bridge. We will move at Jonin speeds. Anybody that can't keep up will be carried. Now let's go, Yamato said, and they took off into the trees. They traveled at Jonin speeds and only stopped at a town halfway through to rest for a day. Sakura somehow managed to seduce a random civilian into having sex with her. Other than that, no problems arrived. They made it to the bridge, and Yamato used his wood style to make himself look like Sasori. So Naruto, how do I look? Yamato asked. You look like him, but make your voice a lot deeper and somewhat scratchy, Naruto said. Yamato cleared his throat and spoke again. Like this, he said in a deep yet scratchy voice. Yeah, that's perfect, Naruto said. However, deep down he knew this mission was a failure. He felt Sai making an ink clone so he could run off. Naruto made 2 shadow clones and had them follow him and watch what he does before dispelling. He watched as Yamato in his Sasori disguise walked onto the bridge. The spy was already there waiting for him. You weren't followed, were you? Sasori asked. No, I still have that strange sensation from when I remembered who I was after you broke that jutsu. The spy said. I've got some questions for you, Sasori said. I don't have much time, so please keep it short. I risked my life to get here without Orochimaru finding out. The spy said. I want information on the location of his hideout and the whereabouts of Sasuke Uchiha. Sasori said. We're in a hideout on a small island on a lake to the north. We'll be moving again in 3 days. The spy said. What of Sasuke Uchiha, is he there as well? Sasori asked, sounding a bit desperate. Damn it, Yamato, relax, you're gonna blow your cover sounding desperate, Naruto whispered to himself. Meanwhile, on the bridge, a noise was heard in a bush behind the spy. They turned around and it was just a rabbit. False alarm, I thought it was Orochimaru. It's just a rabbit, the spy said. Damn it, Orochimaru's here now, Naruto said, scaring Sakura. By the way, about what you ordered me to do, Lord Sasori. Even after his reincarnation, Orochimaru uses a jutsu to protect the cellular specimens from his discarded body, and I was not able to analyze the cellular data. The spy said. I see, Sasori said. Now please hand over the item you promised me. I've been here long enough as is. If Orochimaru finds out I'm here, I'll be killed, the spy said. Yamato pulled out a kunai ready to kill the spy, but was cut off by Orochimaru showing up. Interesting conversation. I hope you two don't mind me showing up and joining in the fun, he said. He was followed, Yamato thought as Orochimaru stared at him. He's really here. It's Orochimaru, Sakura said. A snake started to coil around the spy, but he jumped away and landed next to Yamato. Naruto knew it was the boar-masked Anbu. So that's what he looks like. He almost looks like Sai, except he has darker skin and brown hair, Naruto thought. Oh, I wish he wasn't an enemy. I would totally bang him, Sakura thought. Lord Sasori, if you hadn't pulled out that kunai, I wouldn't have been able to get away from him in time, the former Anbu said. I'm lucky. It looks like he misunderstood. I guess my cover hasn't been blown yet. However, Orochimaru is here now. What do I do? Yamato thought. I remember that garb. It sure brings back memories, Sasori, Orochimaru said. So you followed him, did you? Sasori said. I just wanted to thank you in person, Sasori. After all, you're the one who sent this kid to me and he's come in very handy, Orochimaru said. I can't take on Orochimaru myself. It's impossible. I guess Naruto has a plan if Tsunade said he would fight him. I can't call them out yet. I need to wait a bit longer, Yamato thought. The spy gathered chakra to his hand, and then cut through Yamato's disguise and cut him slightly on the arm. Yamato jumped into the air, leaving the disguise, and the spy jumped back to Orochimaru's side. Did he know who I was? No, that's impossible. What's going on here? Yamato thought. Multiple striking shadow snakes. Orochimaru sent multiple snakes from his arm at Yamato and wrapped him up, but he substituted himself with a wood dummy. That was a wood-style substitution. Interesting you must be. Orochimaru didn't finish. Lord Orochimaru, is that Sasori's real body? The spy asked. No, that's definitely not Sasori. Chikara, don't tell me after all this time as his faithful servant you haven't seen his real body, Orochimaru said. He always hid behind those ugly puppets of his, Chikara said. What is the meaning of this? Chikara, you were supposed to be an Akatsuki spy. You should have been under the control of Sasori's jutsu this whole time, Yamato said. Not anymore. Lord Orochimaru broke that jutsu long ago, Chikara said. So you pretended to be under Sasori's jutsu while you turned traitor? Or did Orochimaru use his power to change you? Yamato asked. Nope, I actually empathize with Orochimaru's ideals. Who are you anyway? I've never seen you around the Leaf Village. The plan was to kill Sasori, but somebody already beat us to it, Chikara said. I can tell you about him, Chikara. He was the only survivor, it seems, from when I was experimenting with the first Hokage's DNA. I assumed all of the test subjects died, so I abandoned the lab. Apparently they found him in my lab alive and decided not to kill him and use his abilities later for their Jinchuriki. Now that we have that out of the way, why don't you call out those 2 rats hiding behind you in the bushes? Orochimaru said. 2, it should be 3, which one is gone? Yamato thought and signaled for his team to come out. Only Sakura and Sai appeared. Where's Sasuke-kun? Sakura immediately yelled out. Wow, she can really scream, Chikara said. I wonder, do you act just like your mother did? Last time I saw her, she was on her hands and knees with her ass in the air for me. Chikara added. Sakura only blushed, and Chikara laughed. Tell me where he is now, she yelled, fighting off her blush. Now this is a surprise. I see Sasuke's fangirl, and a guy who looks creepy with that fake smile. I assumed since you were here, my dear test subject, that the Jinchuriki would be here. Orochimaru said. Before anything could be said, a voice spoke up from behind him. I am, was all Naruto said before he grabbed Orochimaru by the neck and threw him away. He activated his chakra mode and ran after Orochimaru. Well, Naruto has him, let's get Chikara, Yamato said to Sakura and Sai, who he didn't know was a clone. Sakura, being the smart person she is, threw a kunai at Chikara, but it landed behind him and Yamato smacked his head. It wasn't just because the kunai landed behind Chikara, no, it was because she threw an explosive kunai. The kunai exploded and the entire bridge blew up, but they all jumped back in time. However, they all landed on the same side. Sakura Yamato instantly charged Chikara in a taijutsu battle, which he struggled with because taijutsu wasn't his area of choice. He was only high chunin in that regard. Sakura came at him with the basic academy taijutsu that was filled with openings that he was able to exploit, but Yamato came at him with the style most Anbu used, and Yamato was great at it. He kicked Sakura away, but Yamato appeared in front of him and hit him with a punch to the gut and elbowed his kneecap, breaking it, making Chikara scream out in pain. He then hit him 3 more times in the ribs and 1 more time in the face before sweeping his leg from under him and driving his heel into his gut. He slapped a chakra suppression seal on Chikara and wrapped his hands and feet up with his wood-binding jutsu. He turned around to see Sakura healing her wounds. He looked for Sai but only saw a pile of ink. He was a clone this whole time, Yamato thought. Sakura, where is Sai? He asked. I don't know, I thought he was behind me, she said. Alright, stay here with Chikara and make sure he doesn't try anything. Do not heal him, Yamato said before jumping off towards Naruto and Orochimaru. So he left the daughter of a whore with me. Tell me something, do you act just like your mother, or only have the same pink hair and green eyes as her? Chikara asked as an insult, but to his surprise, Sakura smiled at him. I can show you better than tell you, she said and took off her apron skirt, her shorts and red thongs she had on, and walked up to him and pulled out his dick that was already hard, which was only 4 inches, and put it in her mouth. Meanwhile, Naruto is fighting Orochimaru in a taijutsu fight after having caught up to him. Orochimaru already had to shed his skin twice. He ducked a roundhouse kick from Naruto and threw 6 punches at Naruto, who easily dodged them thanks to him using his ultra instinct. Orochimaru hasn't landed a single hit since the fight started. He jumped back from Naruto and called out a jutsu. Formation of 10,000 snakes. 10,000 snakes with swords sticking out of their mouths all charged at Naruto, who gathered chakra in his lungs. Fire-style dual great dragon fire jutsu. 2 huge dragons of blue fire charged at the 10,000 snakes. Orochimaru laughed. It wasn't enough to take out his jutsu, however Naruto was not done. Wind-style dual wind dragon jutsu. 2 dragons made of dense wind charged at the fire dragons, and made the dragons grow in size and burn brighter, almost turning white and destroying the snakes, but kept charging at Orochimaru, who hid underground to avoid the attack. An explosion happened, and Naruto blew away the smoke with his wind chakra. He saw Orochimaru come out of the ground, and he was breathing heavily. Naruto, seeing this, dropped the power of his ultra instinct and activated his chakra node, and held his hands out in front of him, gathering red and bluish-purple chakra, forming it into a condensed ball. Orochimaru, recognizing this, slammed his hands on the ground. Summoning Jutsu Triple Rashomon. 3 gates appeared with faces on them. The first gate was red, the second was green, and the third was blue. The first gate takes the attack head-on, the second reduces the attack's power, and the third disperses the pressure, causing all attacks that come in contact with it to lose their power before they can be effective. However, Naruto was putting a lot of chakra into this attack. Orochimaru braced himself behind the gates, tailed Beast Bomb. Naruto shot the ball of chakra towards the 3 gates, demolishing they easily, and a giant explosion happened. Naruto jumped into the trees with his clones, and they dispelled, giving him the memories. Sai kept sending messenger ink clones to Danzo, giving him information on his skills. However, they intercepted all of them and dispersed them onto some paper, reading the message. Sai didn't know he was there, obviously more concerned about the mission Danzo had given him. Yamato appeared next to Naruto, who placed a privacy barrier that shielded them, making it look like a normal tree was there but they could see out of it. "Naruto, what are you doing? You're supposed to be fighting Orochimaru," he exclaimed. "I did. I'm waiting for Orochimaru to come from underground and for Sai to meet him. I'm sure he has a separate Misio from Danzo. He was here the entire time. He made an ink clone as soon as we got to the bridge. I think Orochimaru may take him to his hideout. If he does, we can follow him. I placed a tracker seal on Sai without him noticing. By the way, where's Sakura?" he asked. "I left her with Chikara," Yamato said. "You do know she is most likely fucking him, right?" Naruto asked. "No, she isn't. He is an enemy to the leaf. She wouldn't do that," he responded. "Have you met her? 10,000 Rio says she is. Make a clone and have it bring her to us. Guarantee she will either just be getting done fucking him or was in the process of fucking him. She can't get in trouble since there isn't a law in Konoha against it, only harming a prisoner we captured, and she isn't harming him." Naruto said Yamato took the deal and created the clone to go grab Sakura. 15 minutes later, Sakura and the clone came back, and Sakura had white spots on her clothes and in the ends of her hair. Yamato just took out the money and gave it to Naruto before the clone even dispelled. They notice Orochimaru coming out of the ground and shedding his skin. Sai approaches him and talks to him before he shows him a file with a lot of papers in it. Orochimaru skimmed through it and they began walking away towards the hideout he was currently using. "What is Sai doing?" Sakura asked. She finished cleaning herself up. "Sai is a traitor. When he was put on this mission, somebody who is evil in the Leaf Village assigned him to this mission so he could do a deal with Orochimaru," Naruto said. "However, this is a good thing as well. Orochimaru is taking him to the hideout. Sasuke will more than likely be there, and we can grab him and bring him back to the Leaf," Yamato said. "Yes, I can't wait for Sasuke-kun to come home. We can be together again, and I can show him what he's been missing," she said. "It won't work," Naruto said. "What do you mean?" Sakura asked. "What I mean is, even though Sasuke will be there, Orochimaru will already have an escape plan to get him and Sasuke out of the hideout," Naruto said. "But we can always try, right?" Sakura said. "Yeah, we can," Yamato said. Naruto just sighed. "Let's go, they're at the hideout now," he said, and they took off. They reached the base and went in. "Okay, split up and search for anything we can use, and if you find Sasuke, flare your chakra," Yamato said, and they split up. Naruto was searching through a lot of doors until he came across what looked like Orochimaru's office. He entered and found 2 files on the desk. One was the same envelope Sai handed to him. He opened it up and saw Anbu members from the Leaf without their masks on. He was more pissed at the fact that Yuga was the first photo. He sealed the file away and grabbed the second file. It read Kurin Uzumaki. It had a list of her abilities in her picture: bright red hair with the right side short and spiky, while the left side was longer and straight. She also had brown narrow glasses. He found her location, but she would have to wait. He also saw that Kabuto was able to replicate her heel bite ability, and gave it to 3 other people in the hideout he is currently in. He found the location of the notes on the test of her ability, and burned it. He found another Akatsuki ring which he guessed was Orochimaru's. He sealed Karin's file and the ring away. He snooped around and found an interesting file on Danzo. He sealed it away before burning everything in the room and leaving. He went to the room that had the test subjects for Karin's heel bite ability and quickly killed them. He left out of the door when he found a girl with red lipstick, fair skin, dark eyes and light blue hair which she keeps in a spiky ponytail with long strands of hair framing her face. Her outfit was a green dress with a long left sleeve and a short right one, a red turtleneck which has a white fluffy collar and brown gloves. Under the dress she wears a one-piece red suit. For shoes she wears calf-length brown sandal boots. She also had a little boy with her. He had magenta eyes and long pale green hair. His outfit consisted of a kimono with a jade green inside and a gray outside, along with cadet blue pants with bandages down to his ankles, and wore shinobi sandals. His were low-cut and dark brown. "Who are you?" the girl asked, putting the boy behind her in a protective manner. Naruto smiled at that. "I'm Naruto Namikaze, formerly known as Naruto Uchiha." "You are?" he asked. "I'm Guren and this is Yukimaru. Now why are you here?" she asked. "I'm looking for Sasuke Uchiha apparently, but I already know where he is. What are you doing here? Given the way you are protecting Yukimaru, you're not a bad person. So why are you with Orochimaru?" he asked. "I'm here because he took me in when I was younger because of my Kekkei Genkai, and I quickly rose to become his strongest shinobi after Kimimaro. I was supposed to become his next vessel, but he chose Sasuke Uchiha instead. I'm in charge of caring for Yukimaru. That's why I'm here," she said. "Okay, so how about a way out of here? A new life, no more experiments, and you can make an honest living? Plus I can get rid of that curse mark you have," Naruto offered, shocking her. "What's the catch, and what about Yukimaru?" she asked with hope in her voice. "No catch. All you need to do is leave here with me. I can get you out undetected. you would come to live in the leaf and either become a kunoichi of the leaf or a regular civilian. I can give you a house that's paid for, so all you would worry about is putting food in the house. Also, I assumed Yukimaru was a package deal, so if you came, he came, Naruto said. What do you say, Yukimaru? Want to go live a better life instead of moving around a lot? She said. I'll go wherever you go, Gurren. I trust you, he said. Okay, we're coming with you, but how are we getting out of here? She asked. I'm going to store you both in my personal pocket dimension until I reach the Leaf Village. Is that all right? He asked, and she nodded, and he activated his Mangaku Sharingan and used Kamui to absorb them into his pocket dimension. He deactivated his Sharingan and wiped the blood off his face. Then an explosion happened. We found Sasuke, he said to himself and headed to the explosion. He arrived and saw Sakura with wide eyes and Sai and Yamato just standing there. Sasuke-kun, Sakura said. Sakura, it's been a while, he said in a bored tone, then noticed Yamato and Sai. I don't know either of you, but it doesn't matter because you're all going to die. He appeared in front of Sakura, who was frozen with his Chokuto drawn, then Sai stopped it with his Tanto. Good counter, you made the right move, however. He disappeared and appeared behind Sai, shocking him that he was so fast. He tried to stab him with his Chokuto, about to stab him, but Yamato blocked it with his wood-style. Sasuke simply looked at him. You made the wrong move. He let his lightning chakra flow through his Chokuto, and it hit Yamato after cutting through his wood. He was about to kill them until he heard clapping from behind him. Wow, Sasuke, I'm impressed. You actually managed to get stronger under Orochimaru, Naruto said, causing Sasuke to activate his Sharingan, which now had all 3 tomos. Ah, look at who finally matured his Sharingan. Given how much chakra you're losing from activating your eyes, you must have just unlocked it. Pity you grew so much under Orochimaru, yet you're not even stronger than him, which means you're not even close to Itachi's level. He said. Shut up, I am stronger than Itachi, now I'll kill him next time I see him. Sasuke said. Yeah, look, I'm not really here to capture you, but it would be nice if I did get the council off my back about some stupid CRA that they will force me into. So I'm just gonna kick your ass a little bit until Orochimaru decides to show himself. He said and vanished so fast that he left an after image fooling Sasuke's Sharingan. He was behind Sasuke and kicked him in the head, sending him flying into some debris. Sasuke got up and charged at Naruto with his Chokuto. But everything he did was dodged by Naruto, who used a brief moment of shock to backhand Sasuke away and broke his nose. Enough, Sasuke yelled. He jumped up to the highest ledge of the ceiling, looking down at them, and held his hand up in the air until somebody grabbed him. Sasuke, we have to go now. We have things to do. You can kill them the next time you see them, Orochimaru said, and they began to sink into the ground. After they left, Sakura spoke up. Why didn't you capture him, Naruto? She yelled. It was not our mission. Like Orochimaru said, he'll see us again. Now Sai, he said. Yes, Naruto, he replied with a fake smile that turned into a shocked look. He looked at his chest and Naruto's hand pierced his heart. He died right then and there. Naruto looked at Sakura and Yamato. Let's get Chikara and head back. They nodded, and shockingly Sakura didn't say anything about Sai being killed by Naruto. They picked up Chikara and headed back to Konoha. They made it in less than 2 weeks because they didn't stop a lot, even when Sakura complained. They checked in at the gates and headed to the Hokage Tower. They walked up the stairs while Sakura and Yamato did with Chikara. Naruto went up to the window. He entered and stood silently behind Tsunade as she and her clones did paperwork. A knock on her door made her dispel all her clones. Come in, she said. Sakura, Yamato, and Chikara all entered. Chikara was nervous because he knew he was about to die. Team Yamato returning from a completed or incomplete mission, Yamato said. What does that mean? Tsunade asked. Well, we captured the spy who Naruto told us was indeed Boar. However, we didn't get any important info out of him, Yamato said. Okay, where's Sai? She asked. I killed him, Naruto said from behind Tsunade, making her turn around and punch him back outside the window. He landed all the way at the gates and had to go back. Of course, he climbed through the window with no cuts or bruises, not even his clothes were damaged. As I was saying, I killed him. He was a traitor and gave Orochimaru some important files, he said, and unsealed the file with the Anbu profiles in them. Okay, that's one down, but not the one we're looking for. Good job on your mission. I'll give you all pay for completing an S-rank mission. Naruto, kill Boar for me. Tsunade said. Naruto simply cut his head off with the Kubikiri Bocho. Naruto, stay back. Everyone else dismissed. Sakura and Yamato left, leaving Naruto, Tsunade, and the dead body of Chikara on the ground. Naruto made a clone and it cleaned the body up. So what else did you find? She asked. I found the file for the other Uzumaki. Her name is Karin, he said, unsealing her file to took from Orochimaru's base. Tsunade read it and was shocked. Are you sure you killed all the test subjects and the notes and everything? She asked. Yeah, I destroyed his entire office. Oh yeah, one more thing. He activated his Mangekyu and used the Kamui. Out came Gurren and Yukimaru. Explain. Tsunade said. So he told her the story about how he met Gurren and Yukimaru and the deal they made. Gurren also told her all she could about Orochimaru, but it wasn't much since she was never really around after she got Yukimaru. Okay, you have a choice. Do you want to be a ninja or a civilian? Tsunade asked. I want to become a civilian. I've seen and done enough in the shinobi world. I'm tired of it, but I will keep up my training just in case we are invaded or anything. Gurren answered. Okay, what about Yukimaru? Tsunade asked. It's up to him. He has ninja training and is a water user. Gurren said. Yukimaru thought about it for a minute. I want to become a ninja, but I'm already 14, so I'm too old for the academy, he said. That's fine, I have a team you can join, Tsunade said, handing him a Konoha headband. A knock on the door was heard. That's your team right there, come in, Tsunade said, and in came Team Ebisu. Moegi, Udon, Konohamaru and Hanabi followed by Ebisu. Big brother! All four genin yelled and tackled him to the ground. Little monkey, Konohamaru, snot-nose, Udon, red spots, Moegi, firecracker, Hanabi. How've you guys been? Naruto asked. We're good, we just came back from another boring D-rank mission, Konohamaru said. Yeah, I remember those days anyway. You guys and girls will be getting a new member to your team. This is Yukimaru. He will be joining you from now on. Yukimaru, meet your new team and friends. He said, but Yukimaru didn't answer. He was too busy staring at Hanabi, who had a blush on her face. Okay, since the lovebirds are staring at each other, Konohamaru, I have a gift for you. It's from your grandfather. As soon as he said that, the room went quiet. Even Hanabi broke out of her stare and was paying attention. A gift from the old man, he said, and Naruto nodded. What is it? Konohamaru asked with tears forming. When he died, he left me something that he wanted to give you when you became a genin. However, he sacrificed his life to save the village. During his final moments, he entrusted me with two things. One was he trusted me to protect the king and grow strong. The second was to give you his final gift. Naruto unsealed a giant scroll from his wrist and Tsunade gasped at what it was. Naruto, is that what I think it is? She asked. Yes, it is. Konohamaru, this is your grandfather's summoning contract with the monkeys. He left this for you and I am giving it to you now, Naruto said. Konohamaru hesitantly touched the scroll and it opened up, showing his grandfather's name in the first slot, crossed out, signifying his death. He looked up at everyone and they nodded at him. Naruto gave him the instructions on how to sign it and he did. Now Konohamaru, go home and summon Enma the Monkey King if you can. He wants to talk to you. Naruto said. Ebisu gave his team the rest of the day off, and they all went with Konohamaru, even Yukimaru, who was grabbed by Hanabi. So that's taken care of, Gurren. I need to show you where your house is. She nodded and he grabbed her shoulder and disappeared in a yellow flash to the Namikaze compound. Gurren stumbled and puked on the ground. Sorry, I forgot it was your first time, Naruto said, and surprise, surprise, he got slapped in the face. Warn me next time. Gurren said. She turned around and looked at all the houses. They were huge. I'm going to be living in one of these. How did you manage to get me one? She asked. I own this entire compound. My father had it built before he died. Now pick a house, he said, and explained to her how the houses were and who already lived there. She got to the house she chose and channeled chakra into the seal, and 2 keys popped out. She turned around and thanked Naruto for the house and went inside. Naruto went back to his house and went to the training area. He wanted to finish both versions of the Rasengan he had. So with that he created 600 clones, and had them focus on adding wind chakra into the Rasengan while he works on the other version. For the one he is personally working on, it's at about 85% complete. He can create a large outside shell the size of his giant Rasengan, and form small Rasengans inside of it. But he can't maintain the normal size Rasengans inside of it. They all disperse after a couple seconds. Both versions he is working on should be able to be thrown. He got to work and noticed his clones had paired up 2 in each group. I wonder if they figured it out and are just being assholes and not telling me, he thought. After he practiced for 5 hours, he finally got one version of the Rasengan completed. He cupped his hands to his side and created a large bubble of chakra, and then 5 regular-sized Rasengans formed inside of the bubble, orbiting around in the inside. He thrusted his hands forward and pushed the attack forward. It went flying at the training dummy and completely destroyed it. I wonder if the outside bubble is destroyed, will the smaller Rasengans go away or still fly towards the target? He said he dispelled his clone and he was right, they were assholes. They made the jutsu, however he couldn't throw it. He just needed names for them. I got it, the one I worked on. I'll call it the Orbiting Rasengan. The other will be called Wind Style, Rasen Shuriken. With that he went to sleep. He woke up the next morning and went to see Tsunade. He put on his usual Jonin outfit with his guardian flag tied on his hip. He flashed to Tsunade's office and climbed into her window. He saw her sleeping at her desk and must have figured she pulled an all-nighter. He channeled chakra to his hand and started to rub her back in a soothing motion. Granny, it's time to wake up, it's almost 9 a.m., he said in a soothing voice. Shizune walked in with a stack of papers and was surprised Tsunade was still there. I wouldn't do that, Naruto, she tends to be violent when she wakes up, Shizune said. Don't worry, I got it, he said and continued to rub her back, waking her up with a yawn. Shizune was shocked that she didn't lash out. What happened, she asked, her words were a bit slurred. You fell asleep in your office, I thought you left early last night. Shizune said. I did, but I couldn't sleep, so I came back here and decided to finish yesterday's paperwork. Tsunade said. Don't worry about it, Granny, Shizune just worries a lot. Anyway, I have some breakfast for you. He unsealed 2 bento boxes. Inside the bentos were steamed rice, miso soup, grilled fish for proteins, and tsukemono, Japanese pickles. He gave one to both Shizune and Tsunade. Wow, Naruto, this looks delicious, Shizune said. Yeah, I know. Who would have thought you could actually cook? I guess the credit goes to the Ichirakas, Tsunade said as she ate the food. So, why are you here, Naruto? I thought I gave you the week off, Tsunade said. You did, but I wanted to talk to you about something. He said. What is it? She asked before he could answer. A knock came from the door. Enter, Tsunade said, and in walks Danzo. Yes, Danzo, what can I do for you? Tsunade asked. Hokage-sama, I'm aware that the mission to capture the spy has been completed. However, Sai did not return with them. I was curious to what happened, he said, and Tsunade pointed at Naruto. I killed him. So you just wanted him on this mission to give Orochimaru some pictures of Anbu without their masks on. I guess you offered them to him for some of his experiments. You know I could just kill you now, however. I don't have the proof that it was you, so you're lucky. You're slipping up, Danzo. One more wrong move and it will be checkmate. I'll personally kill you myself no matter how many times I have to do it, he said, causing Danzo's eye to widen a bit, but nobody noticed it. He said nothing and walked out. Naruto, what was that about? Tsunade asked. That's why I wanted to talk to you. I found something interesting on Danzo, but first, he said, and took out 3 kunai and threw them into the ceiling, killing 3 root Anbu that were in the ceiling. After that was taken care of, he unsealed the folder on Danzo he took from Orochimaru's hideout and handed it to Tsunade, who read it. After she got done, she was pissed. Naruto, I want you to kill him the next time he slips up. I don't care who is around. If he so much as sneezes the wrong way, kill him. Do you understand me? He nodded. Yeah, I do. I was going to kill him before, but I had no order or proof of his actions. By the way, Pervy Sage is here, he said, pointing at the window. Tsunade instantly went to the window and pulled him in the office and kissed him. I missed you, Jiraiya, she said. She hasn't seen him since the day Naruto saved Gaara from the Akatsuki, and that was over a month ago. I missed you too, Tsunade, he said. Are you about to do what I think you're about to do? Naruto asked. Oh yeah, I've got over a month of sexual frustration, so get out, Tsunade said. Alright, but no babies, we can't have you sidelined with the Akatsuki around, Naruto said, activating the privacy barrier and leaving. Can you guys wait until I leave? Shizune said, running out, closing the door behind her. You know, I forgot she was in here. Now sit on the couch, Tsunade told Jiraiya. Shizune walked up to Naruto and slapped him. What the hell was that for? He asked, rubbing his face. That was for leaving me in there with them. I almost had to watch them having sex, Shizune said. I honestly forgot you were in the room, Shizune ni, Naruto said, which got him slapped again. Shizune stormed off after that. Why does everybody keep slapping me? He asked. He turned around to leave, then got slapped again. What the fuck is everyone slapping me for? Naruto said. Oh, it's just me, fuckface. I need to hand in the mission report to Lady Tsunade. He looked down and saw Tayuya. Well, I wouldn't go in there. Jiraiya is in there with her. You might as well give it to Tsunade, he told her. Ah, so she has her usual all-day fucking appointment. Okay, that's fine. I hand this in and go grab Lee so we can do the same. I need my flames of fucking youth pounded into existence again after this mission. Tayuya said. Don't ever say that again. Anyway, hey Ino, how's it going? He asked Ino, who was also there. I'm good actually. I don't really go on a lot of missions. I mainly stay in the T&I department or run the flower shop. Choji and I are good too. He wants to become a jonin, so he is hoping for a field promotion. Now that I think about it, Naruto, besides Kiba and Sakura, you're the only one who doesn't have a girlfriend. What gives? Ino asked. I haven't found the girl I want to spend the rest of my life with yet. I mean, yeah, I have girls and everything fawning over me, but I would rather get with somebody out of love. I'm not like Sakura. He said. I see, but about Sakura, I don't know what happened to her. Yeah, she talked about sex a lot when we were younger, but I didn't think she would turn out like this. Ino said. All of the female Harunos are like that. Hell, I've seen actual footage of her mother in action despite her being married. Hell, I think her husband was the one recording it. I guess randomly sleeping with a lot of men runs deep in her family. Sakura only became a genin because her mom fucked all the teachers, male and female, except Iruka. Naruto said. Wait, so that shit was about some lady fucking the entire staff at the academy for 5 years straight was true? Tayuya asked, and Naruto nodded. Well, damn, I know who to keep my future children away from. Anyway, I'm handing in my mission report. I've got to go have Lee pound me until I can't feel my legs. Tayuya said as she walked off. I really don't need that image in my head, Naruto said. Yeah, me neither. I'm off to do the same, except me and Choji are more into the slow and passionate pace sex. I'll see you later, Naruto. Ino said and walked off. Didn't need to know that either. He said and walked home to work on his Raisen Shuriken. He practiced the raisin shuriken until about 2 p.m. when he felt a pull from one of his kunai. He flashed away and arrived stopping a scythe with his kubi kiribocho from stabbing Fu, who was beaten and had torn clothes and bloody, but he didn't see any cuts. Well, if it isn't the Kyuubi Jinchuriki, today might be our lucky day, Kakazu. We will be bringing in 2 Jinchuriki and I get 2 sacrifices for Jashin. The man with the scythe said, Shut up, Hidan, nobody cares about your fake religion. We are not to touch the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. Pine-sama said he will deal with him personally in a few months. You're lucky, Nanabi Jinchuriki, we will be back for you. Kakazu said, Hey, fuck you, Kakazu, I need my sacrifice for Jashin, you money-hungry son of a bitch. Hidan said and charged at Naruto and Fu. Before he could even get halfway, his head was separated from his shoulders. Fu and Kakazu just stared on at how fast and easy he did that. I need to tell Pain-sama about this, Kakazu thought. Hey Kakazu, get your ass over here and reattach my fucking head, you piece of shit. Hey Kyuubi brat, you son of a bitch. Do you know how much this shit hurts? I'm going to look like a freak for a couple of days, the head of Hidan said. What the fuck, Naruto said. They call themselves the Immortal Duo, but can you get me out of here please, Naruto, I don't feel good. Fu said, and she threw up right after she was finished talking. Naruto picked her up in bridal style and flashed back to Taki in Shibuki's office. What the hell, Naruto, what are you doing here? Oh shit, what happened to Fu? He said as he ran to him and took her out of his arms. She was attacked by the Akatsuki. Why was she out on a mission by herself? Naruto asked. She wasn't on a mission by herself, she was on a team with 3 Anbu members, Shibuki said. They attacked me as soon as we ran into the Akatsuki duo. They should be back in the village already, most likely want to wait a few days before telling you I'm dead. Fu said as she threw up again. When you find those 3 Anbu, Shibuki, kill them. Naruto said. Oh, I already planned on killing them, Shibuki said in a dark tone. Fu, can you tell me about Hidan and his abilities? Naruto asked. He doesn't really use ninjutsu or genjutsu or taijutsu, he is mainly a kenjutsu specialist with that scythe of his. However, it's his kenjutsu that you should worry about. If he gets the slightest drop of blood, he can make some kind of design on the ground and then drink your blood. All damage he does to himself is inflicted to you. That's why when you showed up and I was bloody that you didn't see any cuts. He can do any amount of damage to his body and it won't affect him. That's why when you cut his head off he was still talking. In a sense he is immortal as long as he makes sacrifices to whoever that Jashin is. Him and Kakazu called themselves the Immortal Duo because with Kakazu and his 5 hearts, and Hidan being able to take any kind of damage without dying, they are basically immortal. Fu said and threw up again. Naruto decided to check her with his sensing abilities and found a 3rd chakra signature inside of her. Thank you, Fu, I appreciate it. So are you and Shibuki dating? He asked. She nodded and blushed, as did Shibuki. Well, the reason you keep throwing up is because you're pregnant, he said, and she froze and Shibuki passed out. But pregnant? I'm going to be a mother? She asked, and Naruto nodded. How long have you been throwing up like that, Fu? He asked. I've been throwing up for about 2 weeks now. I thought I was just sick, she said. Fu, it's impossible for a Jinchuriki to get sick or catch any kind of disease. The tailed beast inside of us will automatically heal us, Naruto said. If I had to guess, I would say you're about 6 weeks pregnant, he said, and Fu just started crying. I can't believe I'm going to be a mother. I never thought it would happen, she said, wiping some tears away. Naruto walked up to Shibuki and slapped him until he woke up. My head, what happened? Shibuki asked. You passed out, Naruto said. Why does my face hurt? Shibuki asked. I don't know, maybe you hit it on something, Naruto said, making Fu giggle at that. Shibuki looked at her and walked up to her. Is it true? Is she really pregnant? He asked. Yes, she is. Congratulations, you're going to be a father, Naruto said. Shibuki only nodded and scooped Fu up before giving her a kiss. No more missions for you. You will be by my side every day of the week, and if I leave out you will come with me and I'll hire Naruto as our guard, Shibuki said. I still need to make money, Shibuki, she said. I'm giving you a 9-month S-rank mission for your pregnancy with a monthly salary of 300,000 Ryo every other month, Shibuki said. A female Jinchuriki is pregnant for 10 months, not 9, Naruto told him. Okay, 10 months it is 300,000 Ryo every 2 months. Shibuki said he made the mission paperwork and stamped it. I'm so excited, I can't believe I'm going to be a mother, Fu said. We need to think of a name for the baby, she said. I'm going to go, this is a moment for you both and not me, Naruto said. Thank you, Naruto, for all you've done for Taki. This is the scroll with the alliance and terms I drew up for our villages. I know it took some time, but I've been busy. Shibuki said he handed the scroll to Naruto and shook his hand. Fu came up to him and gave him a big hug. Thank you for saving me and giving me the best news I could ever ask for. She said he nodded and flashed away to the Hokage office. He looked at the clock and saw he was gone for about 2 hours. He entered through the window and saw Tsunade and Jiraiya cuddled up on the couch. He used his sensing ability to check Tsunade and see if she was pregnant. To his relief, she wasn't. Yo, pervy sage, pull your dick out of my grandmother, all 3 of us need to talk, he said. First of all, I don't pull out with Tsunade, and secondly, good job on the window entrance. Jiraiya said Tsunade slapped him for that first comment, even if it was true she liked it better when he finished inside of her. Okay, so what's up, Naruto? What do you need to tell us that's so important? Tsunade asked. I know 2 more Akatsuki members. He said they both got serious. Who? Jiraiya asked. Well, one is Kakuzu. He is still alive, but it's due to the Kenjutsu I told you about. He has a partner named Hidan, and they go by the Immortal Duo. Hidan doesn't really use ninjutsu or genjutsu or taijutsu. He is mainly a Kenjutsu specialist with a scythe of his. However, it's his Kenjutsu that you should worry about. If he gets the slightest drop of blood, he can make some kind of design on the ground and then drink your blood. All damage he does to himself is inflicted to you. He can do any amount of damage to his body and it won't affect him. I even cut his head off and he was still talking. In a sense, he is immortal as long as he makes sacrifices to whoever that Jashin is. So you should tell all Jonin and Anbu about this. I only met them because I gave Fu one of my kunai for any emergencies. I arrived and saved her just in time from getting stabbed by Hidan. Also, the leader is somebody called Pine, and he said he would personally come for me, but that won't be for a few months. Naruto said. Jiraiya was writing all of this down, as was Tsunade. What does Hidan look like, Naruto? Jiraiya asked. He has medium-length gray hair that was slicked back and purple eyes. He wore no shirt but wore the Akatsuki cloak. He wore a scratched-out Yugakura forehead protector around his neck, and some kind of amulet. He wore gray pants with matching shinobi sandals, and also wore dark green nail polish, and his Akatsuki ring was on his left index finger, which bears the kanji for 3 in it, and had triple-bladed scythe with him. Naruto said. Jiraiya nodded and wrote that down. Thank you, Naruto. Now, other than the usual check for outside threats, I can have my spy network relax for a bit. Now me and Tsunade have one more round before I leave. Anything you need? Jiraiya said. Yeah, after you get done having Pervy Sage empty his sperm in you, this scroll has the alliance document Shibuki came up with. Oh, and Fu is pregnant, and Shibuki added me as their personal guard for any time he travels during the pregnancy, so I might get a couple S-rank missions within the next 10 months. With that said, Naruto left. He was walking down the street and noticed Gurren on what looked like a date with a civilian she met. He smiled at her and kept going until he made it home. He activated his sharingan because when he looked at the ground around the compound, he noticed a gigantic seal on the ground in the middle of all the houses. He memorized it and went home through his father's notes on seals and found what he was looking for, along with a note. Finally, after my trials and heartbreaks, I finally made the seal that can restore the compound if it is ever destroyed. I know I made it gigantic, but I want to put this seal around Konoha just in case the same thing happens. I can't let anything happen to my mother's village after all. Tomorrow's October 10th, the day my son is supposed to be born. So I'll set up the seal the following day. After all, my son is being born, and I plan on proposing to Kiyomi. Damn what the Uchiha clan rules are. I'm the Hokage. I can overrule that decision if I want. Minato Namikaze. Wow, Dad, I wouldn't have even thought about this kind of seal. Naruto thought. He then noticed a small seal at the bottom of the paper and channeled chakra into it. A puff of smoke happened, and once the smoke was gone, it was a box for an engagement ring, as well as a necklace that he guessed belonged to his mother when she was a kid, due to how small it was. On the necklace, it was a blue diamond in the shape of a heart with the Taurus symbol engraved on it somehow, and it was even a hole cut on the side of the diamond so the string was able to go through it. How the hell did Mom manage to cut a diamond? He thought he took off his necklace that had the Yang symbol with Samui's name on it, and the charms from the first Hokage's necklace that Tsunade gave him after one of their spars. He put his mother's diamond on the necklace, so the first Hokage's charm was now in the middle. He then opens the engagement ring box and his jaw drops at the ring. It had a 2-carat cushion-cut diamond that takes center stage in this engagement ring. Round diamonds decorate the gallery of the ring, while chorus lines of sparkling round diamonds grace either side of the 14K white gold band, bringing the total diamond weight of the ring to 2 1/3 carats. He also had the wedding band for it. The line of sparkling round diamonds is set in 14K white gold. The band had a total diamond weight of 3/8 carat. What the fuck, Dad? This entire engagement set must have cost you a shit ton of money. You must have really loved Mom a lot. I guess since you haven't used it, I will if I'm ever to get married. He thought as he put the ring back in the box and sealed it away. He went back to studying the seal his father made, and decided to put it around Konoha tonight after everybody was asleep. He finished studying the seal and making it big enough for Konoha. Nighttime came, and he went out to place the seal on the ground at midnight. After 5 hours of constant ink drawing and using his mangekyu to kamui under buildings to get the ink on the entire ground, as well as using the hirishin, he finally finished. He felt somebody trying to get into the new barrier he set up for the village. The person was trying to phase through the barrier, so he knew who it was. He walked up behind him and spoke. "Boo," was all he said. The man turned around scared. Naruto felt his chakra turn afraid before calming down. Naruto took notice of the cloak. It was the Akatsuki cloak, black with red clouds on it, but the man had on an orange mask. Naruto knew this was the fake Madara but let him talk. "How did you sneak up on Toby like that? Toby is a great ninja and can't be snuck up on," Toby said in his childlike voice. "I walked, so why are you here, Toby? Is it to capture me? Because if that's the case then..." Naruto vanished behind him and put a hand on Toby's shoulder. "Then you are way out of your league," Naruto finished with a cold tone. "How did he get behind me so quickly and be able to put a hand on my shoulder? My Kamui is almost instinctive, there's no way he is faster than my Kamui," Toby thought. "Oh no, Toby is not here for you. Toby is only doing as Pain-sama ordered. I am to spy on the Kyuubi Jinchuriki because Toby is a good boy," Toby said. "Well, tell this Pain-sama of yours that I'll be waiting for him when he comes for me in a few months, and I'll kill him like I did the other 2 members of your group," Naruto said. "Oh, Pain-sama wouldn't like that if I told him. He will be even more mad to find out you killed Sasori and Deidara-senpai. So since you killed them, can Toby have the rings? You must have taken them," Toby said. "Why the hell would I want a dead man's ring? I don't have them. I'm not a fan of jewelry, so take your friend that's spying from the tree and leave." Naruto said he knew Zetsu was there the entire time. Toby stood there before a swirl appeared from his right eye absorbing him, and the other Akatsuki member went underground and left fast. Naruto sighed and went home. Next day, Naruto woke up and decided to visit Anko at home. He went to her house and knocked on the door, and Kurenai answered. "Naruto, it's good to see you," she said, giving him a hug. "You too, Nai-chan. Is Anko here?" he asked. "Yeah, she's in the living room. Come in," she said. He entered and took off his sandals before walking to the living room. When Anko saw him, she ran at him and thanked him for the house. "Thank you so much for this house, Naru-chan. Me and Iruka love it. We already christened the entire house, especially the hot springs. I tell you, Iruka may act like a nice gentleman, but when it comes to sex he is a beast. Although he says I can do better on top. I mean, no matter how fast or slow I grind my hips, he says I can do better," Anko said. "Have you tried planting your feet and lifting yourself up and down while you're on top instead of on your knees grinding your hips?" Naruto asked. "No, why?" Anko asked. Kurenai was also curious about this. "Well, think about it. It's like him going in and out of you in the missionary position, but you're on top and can give you a lot more pleasure," Naruto said. "I'm doing that tonight when he gets in. What about you, Nai-chan? You gonna try it out since you have the same problems?" Anko asked. Kurenai only blushed but nodded nonetheless. "So Naruto, why are you here? Not that it's a bad thing, but due to your missions we barely see you anymore," Anko said. "Well, I figured it's been a few years since the 3 of us hung out, so if you both have the day off I wanted to take you out shopping," he said. "I have the day off," Anko said. "What about you, Nai-chan?" "Actually, that's why I'm here, and it's good that Naruto is here too. I'm actually taking a break from missions. Me and Asuma want to start a family. He will still do missions, but he said the moment he has a bad injury he will retire. Besides, I have about 50 million Rio saved up from all of my missions and Jonin salary combined. Not to mention the 200 million Rio we both received 2 weeks ago from a unanimous person," she said, looking at Naruto, as did Anko. "It was because you both helped raise me. I figured I would pay you back somehow. Now let's go, I'm taking you both out shopping," he said as soon as he said that they were both dressed and had their makeup done well. Kurenai did. Anko only uses lipstick. They went out shopping, but Naruto grabbed Ayame from work claiming she needed a break, and after a 30-minute debate Ayame lost and went with them, and she did not regret it. Naruto spoiled them so much that the women that were with their significant other were getting jealous. They each got a lot of dresses, so much that they could go 6 months without wearing the same one. They got matching shoes, 3 pairs for each dress. They dragged him to a lingerie store where they got almost everything in their sizes. They dragged him to a sex shop in the red light district and bought all kinds of outfits, toys, and games to spice up their sex life. The final thing was he took them to get some jewelry. They all picked a lot of earrings. Some were diamonds and some were pearls. They did the same for necklaces but didn't touch the rings. They all said the only ring they want is the engagement ring and the wedding band. Unknown to them, Iruka was actually planning on proposing to Anko soon. He already bought the ring. After shopping, Naruto sealed all of their stuff in 3 separate medium-sized scrolls and then took them out to eat at a fancy restaurant. Now they were all at Anko's house sitting in the living room. "Wow, I'm tired and stuffed," Anko said. "Yeah, I know I haven't shopped or ate so much before," Kurenai said. "At least you guys don't own a restaurant. I don't even want to look at food for a month," Ayame said. "So why not take a vacation?" Naruto asked. "I want to, but Kotetsu doesn't get that amount of time off unless he gets an S-rank mission, and he hasn't had one in over 2 years. But he promised his next month off we would go to snow country," Ayame said. "It's spring now, not snow," Naruto said. "What do you mean?" Kurenai asked. "Well, before I left for my training trip I had to protect the actress Yuki Fujikaze." Anko interrupted him. "You mean to tell me you met the Princess Gale and didn't tell us?" she asked. "Yeah, so anyway, it turns out Yuki Fujikaze was a fake name she went by. Her real name is Koyuki Kazuhana. She was the daughter of its former leader who was killed by her uncle. She ran away as a little kid. But during the mission, the necklace she wore was a key to a generator, and her uncle wanted it to rule the country. So after I killed her uncle and his followers, she activated the generator, and it melted all the snow, so now it's called Spring Country. She became the daimyo, and we even had an alliance with them. Naruto said. So did you sleep with her? This came from Ayame. No, I didn't want to. She offered, but I told her it was a spur-of-the-moment thing and she should find somebody she loves. He said. So are you still waiting for Samui to show up? I mean, who's to say she hasn't moved on and got with somebody else? Anko said. I haven't told anybody this, only Shino and Hinata know this. He then explained to them about seeing his mom in the Forest of Death and what they talked about. You saw Kiyomi-sensei? Kurenai asked. Yeah, and she told me Samui was still alive and that I just missed her leaving Wave when I arrived. During that Wave mission I took as a genin. He said. This, however, I haven't told anybody. During my training trip a month before it ended I hit a low point. I haven't met Samui yet and I was starting to give up. I went to a bar and since I am a ninja I bought a lot of sake and I drank sake for 5 hours straight. Then the daimyo had a friend over, and his daughter was sending me signs the entire time she was there. She found me and told me after I was done to meet her in her room. I was going up to her room but time froze. I thought I was in a genjutsu and activated my sharingan but couldn't dispel it. I was about to try again, but then Kami came and stopped me from breaking it. She told me she knew what I was about to do and not to go through with it because Samui hasn't been with anybody or even kissed another boy. She's been saving herself for me. Kami said she had the same conversation with her a week before me, so I walked away and went back to my room. If Samui was saving herself for me, I'll do the same. He said all of the girls had tears in their eyes. Kurenai spoke up first. I know how you feel, kind of. I was at a low point in my life as well. I was a chunin still going on about being the greatest genjutsu user ever. I wanted to be even better than some Uchiha. I was so dedicated to genjutsu that I would neglect every other form of training. After being bullied and criticized for 5 months I snapped and trapped some boys in an S-rank genjutsu that it took the Hokage to break them out of it. Then I became cold to everyone except Uncle Hana and Yugao. I was being left alone, but one day after I came back from a B-rank mission my house was trashed, and the ruby necklace I wear belonged to my mother. The house was trashed. I didn't care about that, but somebody stole my mother's necklace and pissed on her photo I had on my dresser. I walked up to the Hokage monument and was about to jump until Asuma found me. He found the people that stole my mother's necklace and got it back for me. He pulled me back right as I was about to jump and just held me until I cried. Ever since then I've been with him, but only kept up the Ice Queen facade until I grew tired of wearing a mask. Kurenai said. You all know my story, but what you don't know, a reason why I kept men away, even the really good ones, was because Orochimaru, when he was my sensei, would pay people to try and rape me and mentally break me, so I could be of more use to him. I found out after he abandoned me. One day I was sleeping and I felt somebody enter my bed and grab one of my breasts. I tried to move but my hands were tired down and I had a cloth tied over my mouth so my screams were muffed and I couldn't get help. I kicked the guy off of me when he went to take my panties off. I added chakra to the kick so he could be out for a while. I tried to get out but I couldn't, so I had to break own wrist and hand to get one hand free, and I untied the other hand, but the guy already got up. He tackled me down and this time got my panties off. He was messing with his pants to pull his dick out but was struggling, so I grabbed a kunai from his pouch and stabbed him in his chest multiple times even after he was dead. I wanted to make sure that fucker couldn't do that to anybody else. I only stopped when somebody grabbed my hands. I looked up and it was Iruka. He just held me and took care of me that night. He took me to his house, and I stayed with him until I graduated. He was awkward around me, but he always was even before then. I asked him what he was doing at my house and he said he just had a feeling I was in trouble. After that I've had a big crush on him, but like he said when we got together on our date thanks to Naru-chan he felt the same way but couldn't tell me because he was shy. And then I left with Orochimaru. I got back and he was in Anbu. I didn't see him until a month after Naru-chan started the academy. It was awkward between us because we both knew there was a line we needed to cross but nobody wanted to take the first step. Ever since we got together I make sure to tell him I love him at least 20 times a day. Anko said. Wow, I did not expect this day to turn into this. Naruto said. Yeah, me either, but I do feel like a weight was lifted off of my shoulders. Kurenai said. Yeah, me too, I've never felt so relieved. I feel like a new woman now that I got that out. Anko said. I never knew you guys went through that. You walk around like nothing could bother you. I guess that's what you have to do if you're a ninja. Ayame said. Everybody has scars, Ayame ni, but I have a confession to make to you. Remember that guy, and I'm sorry for brining this up, but remember that guy who tried to rape you when you were 13 because Ichirakus forced him to shut down his ramen shop? He asked. Ayame froze and nodded. When she was 13, this older guy about 55 years old lost his shop because Ichirakus took all his customers and threatened Tucci to close his shop or he would pay. Tucci obviously refused. So one day when Ayame was closing up by herself, she went to throw the trash out in the dumpster. She was grabbed from behind by the same man, and he just ripped her clothes off and she was screaming for help. The man lined himself up to her entrance, and before he could enter her, he was tackled off of her. And when Ayame opened her eyes, she had some clothes in front of her. But the guy was gone. She put the clothes on and hurried to close the shop and told her dad. Tochi told the third Hokage, but they never found the guy. It was as if he fell off the face of the planet. Well, the reason why the third Hokage never found him was because I killed him. Naruto said he got a gasp from all three ladies in the room. Naruto-chan, are you telling me you had your first kill when you were 7? Kurenai and Anko asked at the same time. He nodded. I was walking around town on my way home when I heard you screaming for help. I saw civilians and ninjas all look towards the alley and walk away. I ran up to the alley and noticed it was you. I saw him take his dick out and was about to force himself on you, so I tackled him off of you. I found some clothes in a bag next to the garbage and gave you some. I dragged him to an abandoned house and tortured him until he begged to die. I cut off his dick first, but he couldn't scream because he was tied up, and I sewed his lips together. I stabbed him 110 times in different parts of his body, 55 times for his age, 13 more for your age, and 42 times for the age difference. I cut one of his eyes out too, and his fingers and toes off. I also cut his stomach open and his guts came out. I put him in a body bag I stole from an ambu that dropped it a few weeks ago. I mainly used it for all my ninja supplies until that night, but anyway, I put him in the body bag with his eyes, guts, fingers, and toes. The reason he was never found was because I dragged the body bag to the Valley of End. Since I had the next 3 days of training off, I was able to make the trip. I put some big rocks in the bag with him and threw it in the water. The bag sunk all the way to the bottom of the river. The house that was burned down 4 days after he tried to rape you was the house I tortured him in. I used the fire to burn the evidence away. Oh. He said all three of the girls gave him a hug because it was obvious that he felt guilty about not telling her. Why didn't you tell me, Anko or Kurenai? Ayame asked. I didn't want you to think I was a monster. I never had a sister or mother figure in my life. I didn't want to lose any of you, he said. Naruto-chan, we wouldn't have left you. Hell, I would have helped you torture him and get rid of the body. Anko said. Yeah, I would have told the Hokage to call off the search. I mean, we looked for almost a year and found no evidence. Even the tracking dogs couldn't find anything on him. Ayame said. Naruto, I'm proud that you stood up for Ayame, but next time just let us know so we can help. Kurenai said. They all hugged in one big group hug for 10 minutes. That's when Iruka walked in. What's going on? He asked. Bonding day, Ayame said. Anko walked up to him and kissed him passionately on the lips. I love you, Iruka, she said. I love you too. He replied. Anko then whispered something in his ear, and he ran out back to the hot springs. All right, this day has been fun, but my man is home. I have lingerie to wear, sex toys to try out, and a dick to ride into the sunrise. Unless you want to hear us, I suggest you leave, she said, running up the stairs to her room to get her stuff. They looked at the clock and it was 9:00 p.m. Well, Kotetsu should be home now. I'm going to do the same thing as Anko, so I'll see you guys later, Ayame said. I'm doing the same, Naruto-chan. I'll see you later, Kurenai said, and left with Ayame. Naruto, get out of my house, Anko yelled from upstairs. He sighed. I really need to find some Samui soon. With that, he left and went home to get some sleep. It's been 5 months since the day Anko, Kurenai, Ayame, and Naruto bonded. Anko dropped her tough girl act in public but would still snap if someone touched her or insulted her. Ayame, having a clear mind, was able to run the business a lot smoother and managed to open another restaurant in the red light district. It's over there because ever since Naruto came back he has been fixing it up and investing money. He fixed up 3 more blocks of buildings and opened stores or rented out to people who wanted to start a business. He made an orphanage, another animal shelter, a hospital would be built since Tsunede's medic program was growing, and even civilians were allowed to take the classes. He built a large building for Ayame to open her second restaurant, and he made more apartment complexes. He was able to do this because all of his recent missions were A or S rank missions, so on top of the money he had from his parents he also made his own. His next step was to fix the brothel houses. He won't get rid of them, just make the buildings better. He wouldn't want to stop the ladies from their main, and for some their only source of income. Kurenai, on the other hand, wound up pregnant after using the new position Naruto told her about. Nobody knew except Anko, Tsunade, Ayame, who had a pregnancy scare but wasn't pregnant, Naruto, and of course Azuma. She hid it with a genjutsu on her body. Naruto also went out on missions with Fu and Shibuki, and Fu was showing as well, but she hid it too. They asked Naruto if he would be the godfather of their child, and he accepted after Fu started crying when he didn't answer immediately. He offered them a house if after the pregnancy the village tried anything, and they both accepted the offer. Now we find Naruto sitting in his backyard, in a lotus position. He just finished working on his Raisin Shuriken. He had a clone use it at close range and activated his sharingan to look at the damage, and what he saw amazed him. After the attack hit, it exploded in a dome of tiny chakra needles coated in wind chakra. If he had to guess, those blades could cut somebody's chakra network. However, the drawback was at close range, you suffer a bit of nerve damage in your arm, but it could be healed. He tried the long-range attack, and he got the same results except the nerve damage in his arm since he threw it. He was waiting for Asuma to send him the signal with the kunai he had given him. Team Asuma, Izumo, and Kotetsu were sent out on an A-rank possible S-rank mission. A monk by the name of Chiriku was killed and taken away, but a lot of other monks were killed at the fire temple. However, Chiriku was the only one taken, so Tsunade sent them out there to investigate and gave them the warning that the Akatsuki might be behind it. And if it is, they were to call Naruto with the kunai she gave Asuma. Naturally, Kurenai and Ayame were worried, so they stuck together the entire 2 weeks they were gone. Naruto was pulled out of his thoughts when his eyes snapped open. Kurenai and Ayame seeing this got worried, and he flashed away. He arrived seeing Asuma bleeding on his thigh a lot but no cuts, and his face was burnt but no skin was peeled. He looked at Hidan and saw he was black and white standing in that circle again. I need to take him out of that circle. Sorry Asuma, but this will hurt, he thought. How, you're too late, bitch. I'm gonna sacrifice his ass to Jashin. Say goodbye, fucker. Hidan said he raised his scythe to stab himself through the heart, but before he could stab himself he was kicked out of the circle and flew into some trees. Ouch, Asuma said, holding his face. Sorry Asuma, Naruto said. It's fine, at least the jutsu is over with, he replied. Ino, heal Asuma as best as you can and whoever else needs help, Naruto said. Sure thing, she said, and started to heal Asuma. We need to get back to the leaf for you all to get healed. All of you are not ready for this fight except Shikamaru, but that's only because he is extremely smart. But he still needs to plan ahead, he can't think of something on the fly, he said. Hey, you fuckers aren't going anywhere. You cut my fucking head off last time and Kakuzu had to sew it back on. I look like a fucking idiot. Do you know how fucking much that shit hurts? It's a fucking lot. Hidan said, pissed off. How about I cut your dick off next time so Kakuzu can reattach it? That way it's in your pants so nobody can see it, Naruto said. That would be fucking better than my fucking head having stitches around it. Kakuzu can just put my dick back on and nobody will know, Hidan said. So you want Kakuzu to touch your dick if it gets cut off? Naruto asked. Yes, despite him being an evil asshole, he has some soft-ass hands. I can only imagine the feeling of those hands reattaching my dick. I bet it would feel good. Hidan said, not paying attention to what he is saying. Uh-huh, I see. Naruto said. Hidan thought about what he just said, then realized how it sounded. Wait, you motherfucker, not like that. Kakuzu, if you touch my dick, I'll fucking kill you. Do you hear me, you money-hungry son of a bitch? Hidan said. Hidan, shut up. Let's go, that one is the leader's target, remember we can't touch him, Kakuzu said. You're fucking lucky, bitch. Next time I see you, if Pain-sama doesn't get you, your ass and mine, you fucking hear me, mines, Hidan said. Kakuzu, tell this Pain, as you all call him, that when he comes after me he will die. Naruto said. Kakuzu didn't say anything, he just walked away with Hidan, but Naruto knew he would pass the message on. Naruto, weren't you scared of them? Choji asked. No, I've already killed one of them. Temari also was involved in the death of one. This shocked Shikamaru since he didn't know. She didn't tell me she fought an Akatsuki member. When did this happen? He asked. During the rescue mission to save Gaara. She probably didn't tell you because of how she died. Next time you see her, ask her about it. Now everybody grab on, we're heading to the Hokage Tower so Chainsmoker can get healed. He said, and everybody was connected to Naruto, and he just flashed away. They made it to Tsunade's office and everybody was dizzy. Kurenai and Ayame, who were in the room, ran up to Kotetsu and Asuma. Asuma, are you okay? Kurenai asked as she speed-walked to him. She couldn't run due to her being pregnant. Kotetsu, you're okay, Ayame said as she ran and hugged him. Yeah, they're fine. Ino had to heal them, but clearly looking at Asuma's face he needs a bit more healing, Naruto asked. I did the best I could, Lady Tsunade, but I couldn't heal the burn mark completely, Ino said. It's okay, Ino, I can heal the rest of it. Tsunade said. She walked up to Asuma and began to heal the burnt side of his face. So what happened? Was it the Akatsuki? Tsunade asked. Yeah, it was. Then we ran into Kakazu and Hidan. They were after the bounty on Chiriku, so they attacked the fire temple. They wanted the bounty on my head as well, but Naruto showed up and they ran away. They said something about their leader coming after Naruto in a few months. I read the file on Hidan, but the guy, knowing he can't die, just kept charging in and managed to give me a small cut, but it was enough to start his ritual. He stabbed himself in the thigh, which affected me, and tried to go for the heart, but I channeled chakra into Naruto's kunai and he arrived and kicked him out of the ritual. Asuma said. Lady Tsunade, we need to hunt them down. It's only a matter of time before those two attack again. I've come up with a plan to kill Hidan, and Kakuzu will be easy, just destroy his masks before killing him. Shikamaru said with Choji, and Ino nodding in agreement. You're not ready, Shikamaru, Naruto said. Naruto, you said it yourself, Shikamaru might only be the best person to take them in, other than yourself. Why are you saying he isn't ready? Ino asked. Because like I also said, Shikamaru doesn't have the ability to think of a plan while in the middle of a battle. Come up with things on the fly if something goes wrong. Let's say his plan fails, what is he going to do? Kneel down in his thinking position to come up with a plan. The Akatsuki won't give him the chance. Once he tries to do that, he will be killed. That means no more shogi games, no more cloud watching, and no more Tamari. Naruto said. Shikamaru sighed. He's right, Ino. That's the one weakness of all the Nara clan members. We come up with a battle strategy and just that one we do this so much that we just don't possess the ability to think of a plan on the fly. Shikamaru said. So what are you guys going to do? You can't just let them roam around freely. Ayame said. We aren't. I have a simple plan that should be able to work. Naruto said. What is it? Kurenai asked. I have a soul purification seal that was created by the Uzumaki clan. It's made specifically for people like Hidan. It basically cleans their soul, getting rid of all of the tainted properties about it. It would cut off his immortality abilities and cause him to die when he takes a fatal blow. Naruto said. How are you going to place the seal on him? We can't get close to him, remember? Choji said. That's where you three come in. Shikamaru can stop him with his shadow possession jutsu, and you can stop him from trying to break out for at least 2 seconds with your mind transfer jutsu, giving Choji enough time to slap the seal on him. You can also take out one of Kakuzu's hearts. I'm going to sneak up on him and destroy one of his hearts, most likely the earth mask, and get some of his blood and put it in a vial. Since Shikamaru probably had this part in his plan, you act like Hidan cut you, but in reality you made him cut open the vial of blood, and knowing him, he will want to quickly kill you, so he will stab himself in the heart, taking out one of his hearts. I can destroy the rest of them on my own. Naruto said. Shikamaru thought about this plan. The only thing he really had to do was fake an injury, and from the way Hidan acts he would easily fall for it, and then he just had to stop him so Ino and Choji could do their parts. Simple yet effective. He knew Kakuzu wouldn't get involved because Naruto would be there. He would need to focus on him instead of helping his partner. When do we leave? Shikamaru asked, and Naruto looked at Tsunade. We have to wait for the spy network to give us any information on the next time they're in the Land of Fire. If they are close by, then I'll send you all out on a mission. Until then, remain in the village and don't sneak out. Tsunade said. They all nod. Good, you're all dismissed. Everyone left but Naruto. Something else you need to tell me? She asked. After my next fight with this pine guy, it's going to be time for the transplant. If you aren't available, I can have Anko or Tayuya do it. I'm just letting you know. He said. Okay, I'll be ready. We still have a couple months left, so don't use your Mangekyu until the fight with the leader. How bad is your eyesight now? She asked. I'm at about 30%. I have a genjutsu over my eyes and everything is looking fuzzy. I just mainly use my sensing ability to move around, he said. Okay, I'll be waiting for you when you need the transplant. Tsunade said. Naruto gives her a hug and leaves the office. Hey Shizune, he said as he saw Shizune sitting at her desk. Hi Naruto, just got back from a mission, she asked. Yeah, it was an S-ranked mission I had to go on. I saved Izumo Kotestu and Team Asuma from the Akatsuki. He said. In the blink of an eye, Shizune was gone. Did Dad teach her the Hiraishin before he died? He thought. He went home to get some rest, but when he got there, Iruka was waiting for him looking nervous, and Naruto knew what his problem was. It's time, isn't it? He asked. Yeah, but I don't know what to do for her, Iruka asked. How about the Hokage Monument restaurant again? It was where you both got together. Naruto suggested. Will you do that for me? Iruka asked. Sure, just don't mess up. Take her up there at around 7:30 tonight. I'll have everything set up. Iruka thanked him and went home to tell Anko he's taking her out later. 7:30 came by and Naruto really outdid himself. He laid his hair back again with a lot of hair grease and put on a tuxedo. He had the pathway set with seals that would light up as Iruka and Anko made their way up to the eating area. He had the table set up with candles and 3 trays for food and dessert that were covered. The sun was to set at 8:25, so that gave Iruka almost an hour to calm his nerves and figure out his speech. He sensed them walking up the pathway to the area, so he grabbed his towel and cleared his throat. He stood waiting for them with one arm behind his back and the other out in front of him at a horizontal angle. They arrived and he spoke. Good evening, Umino-san, Mitarashi-san. Welcome to the Hokage Monument restaurant. As you should know, I am Naruto, and I will be your server for today. Might I had you both dressed up nice, he said in his professional server voice. Iruka wore the exact same tuxedo as him. Copycat, Naruto thought. Anko wore a strapless purple dress she picked out when Naruto took the girls out shopping. Its fabric sparkled in the light and the dress went all the way down to her knees. It hugged her body, showing off her lovely shape, and it showed quite a bit of cleavage. She wore her hair down, but unlike last time she had it straightened, and she wore lip gloss this time instead of lipstick. And she didn't wear any eyeliner this time, but you could tell she had some makeup on her face. To finish it off, she wore some 5-inch purple heels, where the front of the shoe had a small heel so some of her toes showed, which she painted purple to match her fingers. Now if you'll follow me, I shall escort you to your seating area. Naruto said. They followed him to the table and Iruka pulled out Anko's chair for her. Thank you, Iruka, she said, smiling at him. You're welcome, he replied. Now for today I have prepared a lovely meal. For you, Mitarashi-san, I have prepared you some sweet and spicy chicken with fried rice, steamed vegetables and a side of red bean soup. For Amino-san, I have prepared for you some bulgogi with a side of steamed vegetables, some rice, and some extra marinade sauce on the side, as well as my personal favorite, a small miso ramen on the side. For drinks, I'm sorry, but we can only serve sake again. However, it's from Lady Tsunade's personal stash, so it's the good kind. Please don't tell her. For dessert, I have prepared a small chocolate lava cake for both of you, as well as a red velvet cake. I hope you enjoy your evening. If you need me, I'll be standing off the side. Enjoy your meal. Naruto bowed to them and walked off to the side, but not before discreetly slipping Iruka a note to read it. Don't fuck up, was all the note said, with a chibi Naruto holding his thumb up. Iruka just sighed and put the note in his pocket. After eating and talking, Iruka noticed the sun starting to set, so he got ready. This is it, you got this, Iruka, he thought. Anko, would you like to get a better look at the sunset? She nodded and he stood up and helped her out of the chair. They walked towards the sunset and watched. I know I said this the first time up here, but this is beautiful, Anko said, not noticing Iruka taking something out of his pocket. Anko, I have to tell you something. Iruka said. She turned to look at him. What is it? She asked, worried. Anko, these past 3 years we've been together has been the best time of my life. I watched you from the academy to now, seeing you grow from a little girl with a dream of becoming one of the best kunoichi ever to actually making your dream into a reality. I watched as you went through the hard times and even comforted you when you needed it. And you've done the same for me. You grew up to be the most beautiful girl I've ever seen in my life, and I'm happy to call you my girlfriend. However, I want that to change from girlfriend to wife. What I'm trying to say is, Anko Mitarashi, will you grant me the honor of becoming my wife? He asked as he opened the ring box, showing her the ring. Anko was crying and wiping away tears, sniffling. He could only nod. Iruka took her left hand and placed the ring on her finger and stood up and hugged her and kissed her. You've just made me the happiest and luckiest man alive, Iruka said. Anko said nothing but kissed him again. This one lasted 5 minutes. How long did it take you to set this up? She asked, wiping her face. Honestly, I've been wanting to propose to you for a while. I just didn't know how to go about it. Naruto actually set all of this up today for me, he said. So wait, Naruto knew you were going to propose to me? She asked, and Iruka nodded. How long were you planning on proposing to me? She asked. Well, I told Naruto 2 weeks after he returned, so for about 5 months now, Iruka said. Anko gave Naruto an evil glare. Hey, don't look at me, it's supposed to be a surprise. I didn't want to ruin it, he said. Okay, you're forgiven. I love the ring, Iruka, she said as she finally took a look at it. Displays a mesmerizing 1-carat round first light diamond that creates infinite flashes of color for more fire and sparkle. It has enchanting twists of shimmering round diamonds, and a matching contoured wedding band to complete the look. Crafted of 14K white gold, the set has a total diamond weight of 11/2 carats. This looks expensive. How much did it cost you? She asked, and Iruka mumbled something under his breath. I'm sorry, I didn't hear you speak up, she said. Iruka mumbled under his breath again. You either speak up or no sex for 2 weeks, she said. Iruka finally gave in and told her. It cost me 967,226 Rio exact, he said, and Anko's jaw dropped. Why did you spend so much money on it? She asked. Because you deserve the best in life, that's why, and this was the best that I could find, he said. Alright, let's go home. I want to have sex. I don't want to feel my legs after we're done, and you aren't pulling out tonight. Bye, Naru-chan, I'll see you when I recover, Anko said and sped off, dragging Iruka with her. How the hell can she run in heels? He asked himself. He went to clean up and noticed the red velvet cake still sitting there. He was about to take a piece, but Anko came and took it along with the extra frosting. Sorry, but I'm gonna need this tonight. She sped off again. I should have charged for this, he said, and started to clean up. 2 weeks went by and Anko told their inner circle of friends she was engaged. What followed next was high-pitched squeal from every girl that was around and a lot of questions from them. However, true to Anko's word, she did not allow Iruka to pull out of her that night and every night after. She wasn't pregnant, and she asked Tsunade to check what's wrong, and she had a small problem with her uterus, but Tsunade fixed it. However, she couldn't have sex for about 2 weeks. Now Naruto's headed to Tsunade's office for the mission. Hidan and Kakuzu have been spotted, and him and Team Asuma are going to eliminate them. He jumped to the window and entered, and Team Asuma was there, but so was Kakashi. She better not, he thought, and he went to stand next to Shikamaru, who wasn't near Kakashi. Okay, now that Naruto's here, let's move on. Naruto, Ino, Shikamaru and Choji. You already know the mission and the plan. You are to fill Kakashi in on the way there. Kakashi, Naruto is in charge of this mission, do you understand? She said. Yeah, I know. He wasn't paying attention, just reading his book. Tsunade ignored it for now. Alright then, you're dismissed. Good luck. Naruto, stay behind, she said. We leave in an hour, meet me at the gate. I want to be within a mile of them before we stop. Do anything you want but be at the gate. I'll only wait 10 minutes after the hour. Don't be late because I will leave your ass here. Naruto said. Shikamaru and Choji nodded and left. Kakashi left before he could even finish. Okay, why is Kakashi on this mission, he asked. The council wouldn't leave me alone. They said it would be dangerous sending you out with only one other Jonin and 2 Chunin. Actually, depending on how Choji does on this mission, he may get a field promotion. Anyway, they wouldn't leave me alone, and Kakashi is the only other Jonin not out on a mission. I'm sorry, Naruto, but it's your mission. You can punish him however you please if he gets out of line. Now get going. Tsunade said. Naruto left in his classic swirl of blue fire. He arrived at the gate and waited for his team to show up. Shikamaru showed up first and they only nodded to each other. Ino and Choji arrived exactly at the hour mark, breathing heavy, and Ino's hair was messy. He high-fives Choji and teased Ino a little bit. They waited for 10 minutes and Kakashi didn't arrive. Let's go, he said, and they all took off. Naruto, are you really going to leave Kakashi? Choji asked. Yes, I am. He's late for an S-rank mission that is crucial to not just our village but the others as well. I told you all to be there in an hour and I would wait only 10 minutes. Despite him not hearing the last part because he decided to leave early, he still wasn't there. If he can't show up on time for an S-rank mission, then he shouldn't be a shinobi anymore. Naruto answered. He has a point, Choji. Naruto was put in charge of this mission and has the authority to do that. It's part of the job Jonin has. Now, not like I have anything against Kakashi, but he would be a liability. He hadn't trained in years. I'm sure if the 3 of us wanted to, we could beat him. Shikamaru said. Shikamaru, what about Naruto? Can he beat him too? Ino asked. Naruto was able to beat Kakashi when he was a genin, possibly before that. The only people in the village I think that can beat Naruto would be Lady Tsunade and Jiraiya-sama. Jiraiya is the strongest in the village, then it's Lady Tsunade. Shikamaru answered, shocking Ino and Choji. Sorry, but you're wrong, Shikamaru. I'm stronger than both of them combined. Naruto said, shocking all 3 of them. Wow, Naruto, I didn't know you were that strong. So how strong were you as a genin? Ino asked. I was about low Sannin level as a genin. He said. That part shut down any other questions they had. They traveled 4 and Naruto suddenly stopped. Why did you stop, Naruto? Ino asked. Well, 1, the sun has completely gone down, and 2, they stopped a mile ahead of us, so we're on good time. Also, Kakashi is here. No sooner than he finished. Kakashi arrived and he was breathing heavy. You were supposed to wait for me, Naruto. This is not how a Jonin should lead his team. Kakashi said, pissed off. I gave you an hour, you didn't show. I even waited an extra 10 minutes. Now shut up, we camp here for the night before heading out in the morning. I'm giving us enough time to eat and get 9 hours of sleep. Everyone unpacked their sleeping bags or tents and set up. Naruto pulled out a scroll and unsealed a lot of food. It was enough to feed Choji with his appetite and 3 more people. Naruto, I'm in heaven, Choji said, looking at all the meats and vegetables. Eat up, it's enough for Choji, Ino, Shikamaru, and myself, Naruto said. What about me, Naruto? You didn't include me, Kakashi asked. You were late, eat your own food that you packed, he said, and went through hand signs, slamming his hand on the ground. A slight humming noise was heard before everything went quiet. Naruto, what was that? Ino asked. Privacy barriers, no sound gets in or out and nobody can see in but we can see out of it. It's see-through on the outside but they still won't see us. Now since you and Choji brought a tent, I'll give you a seal to use as well. But it will only cover the tent. I don't want to hear you fucking in there, he said to her. Sweet, cause I planned on getting in another workout tonight, Ino said, and then whispered in Choji's ear. I want to try the other hole tonight. After she whispered in his ear, she calmly went to eat, but Choji has a nosebleed. Well, I know whatever you said to him, I hope you can move in the morning. Naruto said. They all ate and then eventually went to sleep. Naruto woke up the next morning before everyone and woke them up. Alright, wake up at 7 a.m. We need to pack up. I want to leave in an hour. They packed up and Naruto notices Ino has a limp when she walked. They made eye contact and he just smirked at her. She blushed and looked away. After getting packed and ready, they sealed everything up and took off into the trees again. After traveling for a few hours, they were an hour from the immortal duo. They were so far back because the duo woke up and left earlier than Naruto thought, and they put at least 5 hours extra into the trip. Naruto called for a stop. Ino, use your mind transfer jutsu on a bird and scout ahead of us. Choji, hold her body so it doesn't fall. Naruto said. They both nodded, and Ino went through her hand signs. Mind transfer jutsu. She aimed and took over a bird that was flying by. She used it to spy on the duo and noticed them arguing. They were walking slowly, as if on guard for an attack. She had to leave the bird when Kakuzu turned around, sensing something behind him. The fuck's your problem, asshole? You nearly scared me to death, Hidan said. Hidan, you can't die, you're immortal and don't worry about it, it's just a bird. Kakuzu said. Then he killed the bird. Ino snapped her eyes open and spoke. "They're up ahead, but they are walking slowly on guard expecting an attack," she said. "Alright, does everybody remember the plan?" Naruto asked. Everyone nodded except Kakashi, who was reading his book. Naruto took out a kunai and cut the book to shreds. "Shikamaru, do you have the vial?" he asked. Shikamaru started to pull it out, but it wasn't there. "It's gone. I just had it this morning. Where could it have gone?" he said. "Oh, you mean this vial?" Kakashi said, holding it up for everyone to see. "Yes, Kakashi, that vial. Now give it here. I need to use it for the first part of the plan," Naruto said. "I don't know, you did destroy my book, so I think I should break this," Kakashi said and crushed the vial in his hand. "There, now we're even," he said with his eye smile. Before anybody could react, Naruto punches him in his stomach and looked him in the eye with his Mangekyou activated. Tsukuyomi. 3 seconds later, Kakashi was out cold and Naruto sealed him in a stasis scroll. He wiped the blood off his eyes and reapplied his genjutsu over his eyes. "Great, now what do we do? That was our only vial," Ino said. "No, it isn't. I had an extra one just in case," Naruto said and pulled out the vial. "Alright, let's head out now. This time we engage. Be careful of that scythe. I noticed that it has some type of chain to it so he can throw it at you. Now let's go." They took off and after an hour they landed in front of the immortal duo. "Hey look, Kakuzu, it's the motherfucker that cut me up and kicked me away. He also brought his friends. I remember the fat fuck, he punched me and snapped my neck. The lazy fucker just stayed back, and the blonde bitch. Oh, I remember, she looks like she knows her way around a dick, so I might save her for last." Hidan said. Kakuzu didn't answer. "Kakuzu, you son of a bitch, are you fucking listening to me? Don't fuck with me right now," Hidan said, but turned around, and Kakuzu was laying face down with a hole in his back right where his heart would be. Kakuzu stood up, removing his cloak. He revealed 4 masks on his back, one of which was now broken by Naruto after he struck him with a lightning edge. Each mask contained a heart. The broken one gave its heart up to keep Kakuzu alive. The 4 masks broke free from his back into separate entities, with the broken one dying off since it gave Kakuzu the heart it would use. Kakuzu was pissed off and then decided to replace his heart with Naruto's. Naruto, having done his part of the first step, jumped back to Team 10. Having done his part, discreetly handed Shikamaru the vial of blood, and nodded to them. Ino spoke up to do her part in order to separate Hidan from Kakuzu. "Hey Hidan, Jashin doesn't exist, and even if it did, I bet it would be a big pussy just like you are," he said. "The fuck did you just say? Kakuzu, you take the Jinchuriki, I want these bitches myself. I'm going to fucking kill you all and sacrifice you for Jashin," Hidan yelled and then charged at Team 10, falling for the trap. They led him into a different clearing away from Naruto. "Your friend is an idiot," Naruto said. "He isn't my friend, just a dumbass I stuck with. Now enough talk, I'm taking your heart to replace the one you got rid of," Kakuzu said, and the 3 remaking masks along with himself attacked. Naruto activated his sharingan and dodged a fist from Kakuzu and a fire jutsu from the fire mask. He activated his ability to dodge in Ultra Instinct and charged at Kakuzu in a taijutsu battle. Kakuzu couldn't keep up and was taking a significant amount of damage from Naruto, and without his earth mask he couldn't harden his skin to negate the damage. "I need to fight at long range. Whatever he is doing is making it hard for me to attack, and my masks can't attack him with me being so close to him," Kakuzu thought. All of a sudden he freezes and collapses, grabs his chest and realizes his main heart was destroyed. "How did he destroy my actual heart? He didn't even touch me," he thought to himself. "Good job guys, now it's time to finish this." Naruto thought. Just then they heard a loud scream that sounded like Hidan. "What was that?" Kakuzu said in a low voice, but Naruto heard him. "That would be the sound of your partner dying. We purified his soul, disconnecting him from whatever made him immortal, and now they are killing him," Naruto said. "That's impossible. No technique like that should even exist. I can't win this one, it's 4-on-1. If I was just fighting the other 3 I could win, but the Jinchuriki makes things difficult," Kakuzu thought. Team 10 appeared in the clearing and Shikamaru handed Naruto Hidan's ring. Naruto notices Ino looked sick. Shikamaru and Choji must have had her finish Hidan off for her first kill. He thought. He looked at Shikamaru, who noticed, then back at Ino and back to Shikamaru, who just nodded, confirming his thoughts. Just then Kakuzu called his 2 remaining masks to his body and began to transform into his long-range form. He spit threads out of his mouth and 7 more came from his back with his 2 remaining masks on both sides of his face. "I thought he was ugly before, but this is just hideous," Ino said. "Do you need any help, Naruto?" Choji asked. "No, but you might want to get back." They all nodded and he created a clone. He formed a Rasengan in his hand and the clone channeled wind chakra into it, creating 4 spinning blades around the Rasengan. Kakuzu was worried about that jutsu, so he decided to attack first. He jumped into the air and thanks to his transformation he glided over to Naruto and attacked him with his threads. However, to his and Team 10's shock, they just went right through him. "I didn't even see him move," were the thoughts of everyone seeing this. Kakuzu heard a voice from behind him. "Wind style Rasen Shuriken. He turned his head and saw the jutsu flying towards him. He had no time to move and the jutsu connected, sending him away while grinding into his back. After a short amount of time, the jutsu exploded into a vortex of miniature chakra blades, cutting up Kakuzu and destroying his chakra network, as well as his 2 remaining masks. After the jutsu ended, Kakuzu fell out of the sky into the giant hole created by Naruto's jutsu. I can't believe it. I was somebody that survived a fight with Hashirama Senju and I'm defeated by a child, Kakuzu said as he laid on the ground. Don't you know the next generation always surpasses the previous generation? Besides, you only survived that fight with Hashirama because you ran away and had to steal a kenjutsu from Taki in order to survive. With that said, Naruto created a lightning javelin and stabbed Kakuzu through his heart he got from his lightning mask. Naruto then took the ring off of his finger and sealed his body away. You guys ready to head back? He asked. They all looked and nodded. Okay, so do you want to travel all the way back or stop once the sun goes down and travel the rest of the way in the morning? He asked. I say we travel back and stop for the night. We could use a rest, Shikamaru said. Alright, let's go, he said. What are you going to do about Kakashi Naruto? He asked. I'm letting Granny Tsunade deal with him. He won't be getting off easy this time. He almost put an S-rank mission in jeopardy over a fucking book. I wouldn't be surprised if she terminated his ninja license. Naruto said they took off into the trees, and Naruto felt that same spy from the Akatsuki coming towards the battleground. Going by how his chakra felt, whoever it was, they were pissed off because they didn't know who killed them or who took the rings and bodies. Naruto kept moving, not even worried. They make it back to the village, and Naruto dismisses Ino and Choji, telling them he and Shikamaru can handle the mission report. Ino and Choji leave, then Naruto and Shikamaru head to Tsunade's office. Shikamaru obviously went through the door. Naruto went his usual route and went through the window. Naruto entered and saw the look on her face. He knew something was wrong, but it would have to wait. Shikamaru entered, and Tsunade steeled her face. All right, report, she said. Well, we traveled to where they were seen and I sensed they were still there. We traveled until the sun went down about a mile out from where the immortal duo was located. That's when Kakashi decided to join us. We woke up the next morning and met up with the enemy. I had Ino take over a bird to track them and we were only an hour out. We went over the plan and Kakashi almost put the mission in jeopardy. We encountered the enemy, and I took out Kakuzu's Earth Heart with my lightning edge, and that's when Team 10 took Hidan away. I fought Kakuzu myself. However, due to our plan, Hidan managed to take out Kakuzu's actual heart, and he had to get another heart, which took out his lightning mask. Team 10 came back from their fight, and Kakuzu transformed into some sort of thread monster, and I had to wound him with my Rasen Shuriken. It destroyed his chakra network, and when he was down I killed him with a lightning javelin. I'll let Shikamaru tell you about his fight, Naruto said, and Shikamaru spoke up. My report isn't really that long. We insulted Hidan and he just charged us like a blind animal. He swung his scythe at me and cut the vial of Kakuzu's blood open, and performed the ritual and stabbed himself in the heart, and like Naruto said, took out Kakuzu's real heart. He then charged us again when nothing happened, and I managed to stop him with my shadow possession. Ino got him with her mind transfer, and Choji slapped the seal on him. The seal caused him pain because during the purification process, black smoke was coming off of him. Choji used his partial expansion to crush him, and since Ino didn't have her first kill yet, we had her slit his throat while he tried to get away. Shikamaru said. I thought he said his report wasn't long. Naruto and Tsunade thought. Alright, what happened to Kakashi? Tsunade asked, and Naruto pulled out the stasis scroll and channeled some chakra, and Kakashi came out. This dickhead was late. He also ruined the mission by crushing the vial you gave us all because I cut up his book for not paying attention. If I hadn't brought that extra one, I would have had to send them home and do the mission myself, since they wouldn't have a plan of attack. Naruto said. Tsunade looked at Shikamaru. Is this true? Shikamaru nodded. Okay, why is he knocked out? She asked. Tsukuyomi, Naruto said, earning a glare from Tsunade, and he gave her a look that said he was sorry. Tsunade healed him and he woke up. Kakashi Hatake, I've had enough of your behavior. You are hereby stripped of your shinobi license, your sharingan will be medically removed and you will be sent to blood prison for 7 years. Anbu, take him to the holding cells. Shikamaru, you're dismissed, he said. Kakashi was taken away by the Anbu and Shikamaru left. Naruto sealed the room and walked up to his grandmother and gave her a hug, and she broke down crying. She cried for 20 minutes until she stopped. Granny, what happened? He asked. She was quiet for a while before she spoke. Jiraiya found out the location of the Akatsuki's base. He said he was going to find out some information on the leader. I tried to talk him out of it, but he wouldn't listen. He made me bet him that if he survived we would get married. I took the bet, and knowing my luck he won't live, she said, and started crying again. Does he have my kunai on him still? He asked. Yeah, I made him promise that if he was in trouble to use it. Knowing how stubborn he is, he won't use it, so I secretly put a Katsuyu slug on him so it could activate the kunai, she said. Oh no, your slug will activate it. However, if he goes into sage mode, the toads will be there as well. They know what the kunai is for as well, so they might activate it as well. so if I were you I would get ready for a wedding," he said, and she smiled. "Yeah, I guess when you put it like that I should. I won't know anything until the mission is over and the Katsuyu slug returns. The mission should take him about 3 weeks to complete. I'll get an emergency medical station set up in my office just in case," she said. "And if he survives, I know the leader will come here looking for me, so I want all civilians in Kurenai in the bunker in the Hokage monument. I don't want them getting hurt. But this is also a bad time. I'm supposed to meet with the dragons and foxes for training. Foxes are going to teach me their taijutsu style, and the dragons will teach me their sage mode," he said. "How long will you be gone and when do you leave?" she asked. "I'm supposed to leave in 2 weeks," he said. "Well, I guess no missions for you for the next 2 weeks," she said. "Yeah, I guess so. If I'm gone when the leader attacks, please take care of yourself," he said. "I will. But I'll also fight for my village. I wouldn't be much of a Hokage if I didn't do anything to protect the village," she said, and he just smiled and left. 2 weeks go by and Tsunade hasn't heard anything from Jiraiya or the Katsuyu slug. So here she was in the office with Naruto just talking and spending time together when Naruto stopped talking and got serious. "Get the medical area ready," he said and flashed away. Tsunade was scared right now. "Shizune!" she yelled. Naruto arrived and saw the condition Jiraiya was in. He was missing an arm, but the toads found it. It was a clean cut, so Tsunade should be able to reattach it. And it looks like he had a crushed throat. He looked up and saw the person who did it. Well, actually, he saw the people that did it. "So this is the Kyuubi Jinchuriki. You've made my job a lot easier by coming to me," the one in the front said. "I take it that you're pain. You don't look like much, and given the chakra I'm feeling from you, you're just a puppet. But don't worry, I'm not here to fight you," he said and put his hand on Jiraiya. "We both know it's not time to fight yet, but it will happen soon," he said. "No, we fight now." Pain summoned a black rod and charged at Naruto, who didn't even flinch. He just flashed away back to Konoha. "We will meet again, Jinchuriki, and when we do you shall know pain," Pain said. Naruto arrived back in Tsunade's office and placed Jiraiya on the table they set up and left the room so Tsunade and Shizune could do their job. He was worried he didn't want Jiraiya to die. He was one of the 2 blood relatives he had left alive. 7 hours later, Shizune came out and looked exhausted. She stumbled and Naruto rushed to help her and sat her down in a chair. "Thank you, Naruto. You can go in now, he'll make a full recovery," she said through her heavy breathing. "Shizune, you should go home. I'll let Granny Tsunade know." He didn't get a response. He saw she fell asleep and he created a clone to take her home. He entered the office and saw the same green toad from earlier, and Tsunade was sitting next to the table rubbing Jiraiya's face. "Granny Tsunade, I had a clone take Shizune home. She passed out as soon as she left the room," he told her. "That's fine, Naruto. I guess I need to pick out a wedding dress now, huh?" she said with a smile. "Yeah, I guess you do. Look at it like this. Maybe your gambling won't suck so bad now since you actually won this time," he said, and she lightly slapped him. "Shut up. Oh, by the way, this is Fukasaku. He has something to tell you," she said. "What's up, old geezer frog?" Naruto asked, and Tsunade punched him into the wall. "Show some respect. He is one of the elders of the Toad clan," she said. "It's all right, Tsunade. Anyway, I've been told of a prophecy about." Naruto cut him off. "I don't believe in prophecies, so get to the point," he said. "All right, that guy we fought, Pain, he has the Rinnegan, and it allows him to control gravity, either pushing it away or pulling it close. It also gives him power over life and death. He can also create paths like the ones Jiraiya fought. The Deva path, which allows one to manipulate both attractive and repulsive forces. The Asura path, which grants the user mechanized limbs, weaponry and armor. The human path, which gives the ability to remove a soul and so, read a person's mind. The animal path, which lets the user summon a wide variety of creatures. The Preta path, which can absorb all forms of chakra, including most ninjutsu. The Naraka path, through which one can summon and control the king of hell. The outer path, which rules over both life and death. However, Jiraiya put a message on my back and Tsunade can't decode it. Perhaps you can do it," Fukusuku said as he revealed the code to Naruto, who wrote it down. He looked at the code for 2 hours until he figured it out. "It says the real one isn't amongst us. It means the paths are all puppets. I figured that out once I got there. Somebody was sending chakra to the black rods on the path's bodies. The controller would need to be up high enough to send chakra, but close enough for them to be able to move properly," Naruto said. "Now, Granny Tsunade, I'm going to go meet up with my friends before I have to go. Make sure Pervy Sage gets in that bunker with the civilians and all the genin." He gave her a hug and a kiss on the head and walked out. "That kid is going to be the greatest shinobi of all time. I don't think once he dies anybody will surpass him," Fukusaku said. "Yeah, I know, but I need to move Jiraiya to that bunker and place our barrier over him so I can enter when I please, but nobody can harm him." Fukusaku nodded and went back to his home while Tsunade took Jiraiya to the bunker. Meanwhile, Naruto met up with all of the rookies and Jonin senseis except Kakashi. "So guys and girls, how've you been?" Naruto asked. "Well, I've begun my training to take over the Hyuga clan, and also I've chosen Neji as my right hand." Hinata said. Now this shocked Neji because he didn't know. I thought your clan had elders instead of 2 people running the clan, Ino said. They did, but once Naruto got rid of the caged bird seal, my father was able to run the clan how he wanted to. He never liked the idea of having slaves in his clan, but the tradition was hard to get rid of due to the seal, Hinata said. Well, my dad is training me to take over his position in the T&I department, Ino said. My clan has asked me to take over in a few years. However, they have requested that I ask Naruto for the blueprints of the seal you made. They would like to stop having hives inserted into a child's body, Shino said, and Naruto tossed the blueprints on how to make the seal. He got a nod from Shino. I'm close to getting kicked out of my clan. They said my behavior is like that of a stray dog that goes around biting everybody. Kiba said nobody felt sorry for him. Well, Anko has chosen me as the next person for her job after she retires. I mean, think about it, I can torture people and then go home and have Lee pound his flames of youth inside me. It's pretty fucking sweet, right? Tayuya said. Never say that again, Naruto said, and Tayuya slapped him. Okay, why do all the girls keep slapping me since I came back? He asked, and they just shrugged. I have decided to open up a weapons shop in Konoha, hire some workers and open up more shops so after I retire I can have a backup plan. I found a building in the red light district that would be perfect. However, the people said I would need to talk to the owner of the building if I was serious about renting the building. Apparently one guy owns like 6 to 7 blocks of property and was working on getting more land. Whoever it is must be loaded. Ten said. Loaded with money, you say? I think I just found my future husband. Perhaps I can try to get him to take me out on a date. Sakura said. Anyway, so Ten, why haven't you talked to the owner yet? Naruto asked. I don't know where to find him. They said only a few people knew who owned all of those blocks and it's hard to find him. She said. Well, now is your chance. What building is it? He asked with a smirk, and everyone's jaw dropped except Kurenai, who already knew. You own all those blocks in the red light district? Ten asked. Yup, I sure do. It seemed like a good investment. I'm working with Tsunade on building a hospital over there, and I'm in the works of buying a huge block to open up another ninja academy and civilian school, so the poor kids don't have to travel across the village to go to school, he said. Well, can I show you the building later this week? She asked. Sorry, but I'm going to be busy for the next 2 weeks. I'm leaving on another training mission. My summons want to teach me their personal taijutsu style, and the other wants to teach me senjutsu, he said. When do you leave? Maybe I can give you a going-away gift, Sakura said, scooting next to him and putting her breast on his arm. Yeah, that's not going to happen, but I leave any moment now, and Kurenai, I'm sorry, but you're going into the bunker in a few days with all the civilians and Genin. Naruto said. Why? She asked. Because the leader of the Akatsuki is coming, and all civilians Genin and handicapped ninja are going into the bunker, he said. But Kurenai-sensei isn't handicapped Naruto. Hinata said. Kurenai sighed. Actually I am. I wanted to wait a little longer to tell you all. The only people who know are my closest friends and Naruto since he is like my baby brother. The truth is I'm 5 months pregnant, she said, and immediately all the girls squealed except Sakura, who gagged. Sorry Sakura, no one's dick is in your mouth, so there's no need for that, Ino said, making everyone laugh, and Kiba just leaned over and whispered in Sakura's ear if he could have a shot. She thought about it and nodded as they got up and left together. He wonders why his clan doesn't want him, Neji said. Yeah, I know. Did you hear he tried to beat a worker at the brothel house last year because she wouldn't give him a discount? Ino asked. He did what? Naruto asked in a cold voice. Yeah, he did that, but he didn't know all the workers knew how to fight. He got his ass kicked, he said. Good. I won't have any of that in the red light district, he said. Why do you care about them so much? Ino asked. Because I lived in the red light district growing up, and until I returned from my trip with Jiraiya, my time in the Guardian 12, they took care of me whenever I needed it. They all became like mothers to me. That's why I bought the buildings they work in and will eventually fix them up. I even built affordable homes for them, he said. Naruto, what exactly do you own in the red light district? Hinata asked. The orphanage, the animal shelter, and 4 apartment complexes, all 2 or 3 bedrooms. Out of all the blocks I bought, there is only 2 things I don't own, and that's the Ichiraku's restaurant building and the hospital that will be built, he said before anyone could speak. 2 puffs of smoke were outside. They went out to see what it was, and saw a large red 6-tailed fox and an all-back dragon about the size of the Hokage Tower. These were Scarlet and Shadow. Yo Naruto, the dragons will begin your senjutsu training after your training with the foxes, and the boss and elder dragons have decided it is time to meet you, Shadow said. Then Scarlet spoke. Lord Kurama told me to come get you, as it is time to learn our taijutsu that would be helpful in your Ultra Instinct form if you ever learn to attack with it like you dodge, Scarlet said, and Naruto nodded. Okay, hang on. He bit his thumb and went through hand signs, summoning jutsu. Out came a small lime-yellow dragon with green eyes and wings about twice the size of its body. It also has no arms or legs. It's so cute, Ino squealed and picked it up, rubbing it against her face, but the dragon shot a small fireball at Ino and she dropped the dragon. Yeah, so you shouldn't do that, she hates getting picked up by strangers, he said. Do you remember who Tsunade is? He asked the dragon, who happily nodded. She likes Tsunade. Okay, I need you to stay with her as a messenger if she needs me to come back, okay? He said. Sure thing, Naruto, the dragon said. Wait, you can talk? Why the hell do you just nod all the time? Naruto asked. It's fun, by the way. The name is Tatsu, Tatsu said before flying off to find Tsunade. Fucking dragons, he said, getting a snicker from Shadow. Alright, Scarlet, let's go, and remember Kurenai. I want you in that bunker within the next few days, he said, and with that he disappeared. So Kurenai-sensei, how good was Asuma-sensei? Ino asked. Kurenai just sighed and walked away. 2 weeks passed and Naruto mastered the fox-style taijutsu, and he was really good at it. The dragons were with him right now, finishing his sage training. He met the elder and boss dragons. They were relaxed, but he could tell they were powerful. The boss dragon was 700 feet tall. He had an all-white body with red eyes with a black slit for the pupil, and its wings were huge. This was Viserion. Now the elder dragon was about 1,500 feet long, but unless it was flying, his body was always curled up. It was all red with a black stomach and had spikes all along its back and wings except near its head. On top of its head it had some kind of blue gem on its head. Its eyes were gold with no pupil. This elder went by the name of Helios. Both were impressed at how he was handling Senjutsu, and were working on the final technique. In Dragon Sage mode, all of Naruto's attack power was increased tenfold. His entire eyes would turn a lime green color with a black slit as a pupil. But if you look closely, it wasn't a slit, but a diamond-shaped pupil, and his skin would harden like that of a dragon, making it impossible to penetrate. Come on, Naruto, this technique requires you to pull the heat from the sun into your body and release it as a fireball. You've almost got it. You need to concentrate. You get it once and it almost becomes second nature to you. I don't know why, but it just does. Helios told him. If I had known he would get Senjutsu down this quick, I would have met him a long time ago. That shadow clone idea was ingenious, Helios thought as he remembered. When Naruto came up with the idea to speed up the learning process, however, Naruto could only use 10 clones to help him. He was snapped out of his thoughts when Naruto shot out a huge fireball from his mouth. He could feel the heat from it was the heat absorbed by the sun. Good job, Naruto. Now we will have to work on you getting into Sage mode faster. But first, why do I sense anxiousness from you? Helios asked. Well, I'm worried about the village being attacked and me not getting there in time, Naruto said. That is understandable, however, Tatsu has not returned, so your village is safe for now. Now what is the other thing you are anxious about? Helios asked. Meeting Samui again. I was told she was alive and I would be meeting her soon, however I have yet to see her and I've been back for almost a year now, Naruto said, and he began to tell him about Samui and how they met and his meeting with his mother and Kami. Ah, yes, young love. However, you must be patient. The time will come when you meet this Samui again. When you meet her, I would like for her to sign the contract as well. Now let us begin training, he said. However, before they could attack, Tatsu showed up looking badly damaged. Tatsu, what happened? Naruto asked as he picked her up. Naruto, the village was attacked about 10 minutes ago. The enemy was on its way a week after you left. Tsunade got the warning and wanted to summon you back, but 2 of the elders argued against that decision. She left the office to evacuate the civilians and everyone else you said. When I was about to return, the elder with the bandage over his eye stabbed me with a sword, but he missed anything vital. I took a few days to heal up. Here, I can show you what I mean, Tatsu said, and activated a genjutsu that showed what happened. Genjutsu. Naruto and Helios saw Tsunade arguing with Koharu and Danzo about the evacuation and his return. They saw Tsunade storm out with Koharu and Homaru leaving behind her and Danzo staying behind. If I am to rule the leaf, I cannot afford for the Jinchuriki to return. He would ruin all of my plans, Danzo said, and stabbed Tatsu in the back with a small sword he pulled out of his cane. Tatsu recovered in a few days and was with Tsunade when Pine arrived. Who the hell are you? Why are you attacking my village? Tsunade asked. I am known as Pain, the leader of the Akatsuki. I came for the Jinchuriki, but it seems he is not here. If that is the case, I shall demonstrate to you the power of a god. With that said, Pain flew into the air high up in the sky, most likely with his gravity manipulation. See pain, feel pain, no pain, he said. Almighty push. What happened next shocked Naruto. The entire village was destroyed by an extreme force of gravity. Nothing remained but a huge crater. He saw Tsunade get up and begin to channel chakra. She began healing all of the shinobi in the village. The civilians were all evacuated. Tatsu, go bring Naruto back, she said. Tatsu nodded and disappeared. End of genjutsu. Naruto stood there motionless at what he just saw. He was going to destroy these puppets and then deal with the real body if he can find it. He unsealed a jar with liquid in them and looked at the eyes inside of it. After this fight I will gain eternal light, he thought to himself. He looked at Viserion, Helios and Shadow. Let's go. They disappeared in a puff of smoke. And guys, this is the end. I hope you guys enjoyed well. Until next time, peace.